Okay, I think we should be good. This time we're going.
Are we
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're good. We're up. Alright.
Hello, humans.
Hi, Gabrielle's
Don't look at
armpit.
me.
Better yet, we'll look at Noah. Do we all immediately stop looking at Noah? Alright, okay, everybody. So, how is everybody this week?
Unnecessary question.
Oh my word.
Okay, so D&D.
This has been the Heat Death of the Universe, brought to you by Harley.
The dramatized heat death. Voiceover done by Harley.
You're welcome. I know you all appreciated it tremendously.
Alright. Kids. The time has come. You are finally back in proper civilization. You are in the city of Telmarna. It has been 2 weeks, I'm sorry. Last week? I'm echoing.
It's Harley.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Alright, so 2 weeks ago, you folks had the, you guys were, marching into Telmarna when you were, deposed by Sergeant Shabazz of the local guard. He took you to his leader.
Take me to your leader.
Sorry.
Everyone's head simultaneously went there.
He took you to his, commander, Lieutenant Abab. Lieutenant Abab, was, he was not too keen on giving you folks a hard time. He just really kind of wanted to keep you guys out of the way while a military bigwig is in town. And he put you under sort of police escort? Put you like under he sent you to a tavern which is on top of the jail. There's a tavern and inn on top of the jail where a lot of the guards go to hang out when they're off duty, and that is where you guys are currently shacked up. If I remember correctly, you guys all do have roommates. If I remember correctly, I believe it is gonna be Fen and Francis are in one room. It's Fen and Francis in one room. It is Ven and Clover in another. It's Amari and Azalea in a third, and it is the Bards and little buddy Felix in the fourth. That's everybody, right? Yeah, that's everybody. That's everybody we're traveling with. I'm sorry, I'm used to having a much bigger party filled with sneaky tieflings and screaming elves and lots of other things.
Homewreckers.
Homewreckers! Very soggy homewreckers!
Good time.
Good times! Oh my word. We now bring you to the evening. It is the evening of your first day in Telmarna. It's rambling back passages and streets. It's strange terraces and many gabled houses and huts all running together in one strange stone patchwork from wall to old cratered wall. What do you guys want to do? It's like 10 o'clock on a...
So just to be clear, we're not under house arrest?
Yeah, they said that we couldn't go anywhere.
They told you that you couldn't leave. Okay, so see... it is a Thursday night. It's Thursday night, 10 o'clock, early July.
Yeah, they said that we couldn't leave until the next morning.
Sergeant Shabazz is standing guard outside.
Just to check, they also said they were taking our weapons and they didn't take
No, they
them.
didn't! Shabazz never came around to check.
Just in
I'm
case
North
they do,
Carolina.
the minute I get into my room, I'm starting to move the daggers to less obvious places,
Such as?
such as in boot or strapped to chest.
Okay. All right. Okay, sure thing. All right. So you're gonna strap one. So I just presumably under your clothes for the one chest.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And in your boot. Okay. Let me tell you what your rooms look like. That maybe that'll help you guys out a little bit for figuring out stuff. So your rooms are surprisingly they're quite small. There are no beds. Instead of the beds, there are these like slightly raised pallets. I almost want to say they're like movable wooden pallets, not like shipping pallets, but little wooden platforms, and on those platforms are many cushions, cushions and blankets, just sort of made up very neatly. It's but it seems like you're expected to sleep on these. They're pretty thick. They're nice cushions. They're rough woven, but they're thick. They should be comfortable. Um, the bedclothes are surprisingly thick, thicker than you expected. There are some hooks on which to hang your things, and there's a basin of water sitting on sitting by a window. The window is very small. The window's about little less than a foot wide and about 3 feet tall. It has a very intricate metal lattice work up the inside of it. There's no glass. It's open to the sky. Um, there
Wait,
is.
there's a hole in the ceiling?
No, I'm sorry. The window. The window. There's no glass in the window. It's just.
Sorry.
You're fine. And below it, there's like a basin of water on a little table, and there are some hooks in the back to hang your things. There's no. For those of you who aren't from around here, this is kind of weird. There's like no dressers. There's no real closets of any kind. There is there are a couple tables. There's one that has a basin of water on it. There's one in front of a very shiny piece of brass, like nailed into the wall. It has some instruments on it. Looks like a razor blade and some sort of comb. And that's about it. These rooms are pretty austere.
Okay.
What
Yeah, I mean, free lodging for the night.
I know. At least we don't actually have to spend any money. I appreciate that. Are there windows in here?
Yes, so the windows they're in the outer wall. They are very narrow. They're less than a foot wide. They're about 3 feet tall, and they have sort of they don't have glass, but they have an intricate, looks like a grapevine metal work in them running up.
What can you see from our current vantage point?
Sure. All right. So you're in the room with Azalea. So basically, how they divided you up is they put you and Azalea. You guys are on the north side. So be you and Azalea and the bards and Felix. You guys are on the north side of the building, or your window is facing north rather. And
Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
your window's facing north. For me and Fen and Clover and sister, Ven. Sorry. I have brain. It's the then and Ven thing. But so we're looking out towards the south. Our window is towards the south. We're able to see into the city. They're looking towards the four of us. This be Francis, Ven, Clover. The siblings. They can see we're seeing out into the city. The rest of you guys are seeing back towards the wall, towards the gate we came in.
Okay.
So out of your window, you would see, you'd see mostly some rundown houses, all sort of running together. You see, it's like a little shabby square down where you can see some people with tables, trying to sell some wares. There's a young woman belly dancing in the middle of the square with two older men accompanying her on these strange keening flutes. Behind them, there looks like a stable where it appears to be the owner of the stable and a customer appear to be engaged in rather loud disagreement, and and on top of that stable, you see there's like a house where there's a family that appears to be having some sort of celebration. Some
Wow.
people.
Busy nightlife.
Yeah, no, some people are having a celebration, it looks like. And then beyond that, you're able to see just again these gabled rooftops, both flat, mostly flat, but some of them have these very steep gables in them. It's interesting, but the majority of the roofs are flat. And you see beyond that, and eventually you see the top of the wall, this very ancient wall, and you see lights moving along the top of it.
Nice.
Okay.
Right.
In response to whoever it was that was saying, at least you don't have to spend money, Felix is going to say, I have always found that workbenches make a good alternative to spending money.
That's true, but wouldn't if we're in a city, I mean, none of us in the jungle actually mind if you hang out on like the ground around us, but in the city, I feel like wouldn't they want us not to sleep on the benches because they would think that we don't really add to the scenery or something?
So you guys are in separate rooms right now?
Talking through the wall.
You guys are like pressed up against.
Amari, are you talking to me?
This is
No,
Azalea.
I just had a sudden idea because I felt like I heard somebody talking through the wall about sleeping on park benches.
The walls are pretty
Oh,
thin.
interesting.
I mean,
Have you slept on park benches before?
No, but I thought I heard Francis talking about it.
Oh.
But he
I
was
haven't
either
slept
talking
on a
about
park bench.
was either talking about park benches or lock benches, which doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, I don't know what a lock bench is, but I do know what a park bench is.
Have you sat on one before? I've never
Sat
seen
on a
it.
park bench?
Yes,
Yes.
that's weird.
Yes, I have. I've never slept on one though. Usually I prefer to sleep inside in my house.
Sleeping outside is probably good for you, as long as you stay away from vampire bats and such. They're kind of nasty.
That's something I've had a problem with, really.
The rest of the world is very weird.
I could say the same thing myself. That was
I'd like to
probably
go to
more
the
of a Harley comment than an Azalea comment.
Yeah.
Felix is going to go to the common area where all of the everyone hangs out because it's an inn that happens in these things.
Sure thing. All right.
I'll do it.
As you open the door, Shabazz goes to you and goes, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?"
Yeah, I was wanting to go spend in the inn, spend some time with the other people,
All right.
make friends, talk.
All right. So
Problem?
he puts his hands in puts his fingers out. He makes the loud whistle, and immediately a guardsman jogs up from the bottom of the stairs, and Shabazz goes to him and says, "Take this young man downstairs to get the lay of the land. Keep an eye on him. Don't let anything happen to him, and don't let him happen to anything. Understood?" And the guard's like, "Okay." So this large, rather burly guardsman, an older guy. He's an older guy. You guess him to be approaching 40, probably maybe a little bit past 40. he will escort you down into the common area.
All right. I'd like to ask him his name.
Sure.
What is your name? I am Felix.
Hello, Felix. My name is Abdel.
Do you have a family?
Yes, I do. This is so he kind of walks you down into this common area, and he goes, "Yes, I have a wife and 3 daughters, and the oldest is reaching the courting age.
And how old is that?
It is about from here. She is 16 and a half."
So is it what she thinks is the courting age, or what you think is the courting age?
Abdel gives you a very uncomfortable look. That is the usual age that young ladies are married in this place. Forgot the name of my own damn country. Yes. Thank you, dear. Abdel says to himself. Yes, it is rather our tradition. That is when young men may enter the military or begin their priesthood, their training for the priesthood. It has always been this way.
Yes, I've heard that priesthood can start even younger. Is this not true?
What can start even younger? I didn't catch what you said.
I've heard that being a priest in Jalbar, you can start as a child.
Oh yes. There are some special occasions when you can. There are some occasions when you can begin at the younger age. I am not a priest. I know very little. You see, my wife's friend's sister's husband's brother. He was he cleaned temples. That was what he did. He was a cleaner of temples. And he remembered that there was a boy priest, a child, many years ago. But I suppose it can happen. But usually 16 is when you move on from your training to sort of your career.
Ah.
I was 16 when I became an officer of the peace.
I see. And why that instead of joining the military or something?
Oh, we are in Telmarna, my friend. We have nobody to fight against.
But you can travel and see the world and fight lots of people.
I could, but when would I ever have time to see my wife? I'd much rather have a wife than go to another country.
Makes sense. Your family sounds like nice people.
Oh, we certainly try to be. Yes, it's always a struggle. Times they are changing. So the common area of this room, it's nice. It's everything is mostly it's mostly made of like mud brick with plaster over it. So the walls are very plain, but they're hung in fabrics, and you're a bit surprised. These would be considered very nice back home, but even the sort of more, medieval equivalent of a dive bar. I mean, these nice cloths with these beautiful patterns are hanging from the walls and from the ceiling, and there are very low tables sort of scattered around with cushions and a few low couches thrown around them. There's no bar in sight, you notice, just some very well dressed, very well groomed gentlemen with very very nice jackets that are made with sort of almost like this purplish orange blend of colors, just sort of disappearing in and out of rooms. Not like just not vanishing, but like they're just sort of appearing through doors with trays and dropping them off and going back the way they came. It's not quiet. There are a lot of people talking quite loudly. Most of the people here are guards or seem to be retired guards. You know, old guys slapping on the uniform. And you will notice that everyone in here, down to the last person, is a human.
Okay. I'd like to say, I will be 16 soon. Maybe I can become a guard.
It is, are you hale and hearty? He looks you up and down rather doubtfully.
Is hail a vegetable?
Hey, Gabrielle, can you check roll 20, please?
I do want to tell you, my boy, that there is a written test to becoming a guard.
I can write. I used to want to be an orator.
An orator? Oh. Tell me, is an orator a storyteller? We have many storytellers here.
More a giver of speeches.
So what you're saying is you want to be a politician?
Used to. It's kind of close to me now. Can't do that. But maybe a guard would work. Yeah.
If you enjoyed reading public addresses, perhaps.
Well, I'm sure I could change and become more of a strong fighting guard type.
He takes you by the shoulders, he squeezes your biceps a little bit. You have a good spirit, my boy. He pats you on the shoulder, and he's like, someday, I think you will become. Someday you will become something. Something important.
I'm gonna turn to one of the other people that's like a guard in the room.
Yes.
And I'm gonna grab them and I'm gonna say, he doesn't think I could become a guard. Do you think I can become a guard?
you grab this some random dude who he's holding a jug of wine. He's like, how old are you?
15.
He just walks away. Yeah, don't listen to him. He has more of wine than valor in him. So what is Shabazz after you for? You don't seem like bad sorts.
I don't know. I don't keep track of these things.
It's like.
I told a guard we'd seen a murder and then we were put here.
No, but that's the reason. What murder did you see?
Well, we didn't actually see it committed. We just found bodies on the trail.
Ah, I see. And what trail is this?
It's the one leading into Telmarna from the south, I think.
The one down from the mount?
Yes.
No. Where did you find the bodies?
In there was a building by the aqueduct spillway thing, and there was a bunch of dead people. I'm actually, I was able to. One of them was cut along the throat from one ear to the other. Another one was stabbed repeatedly in the chest and torso area with a sword, and the other one had committed suicide by falling on his sword from underneath.
This is a very strange thing that you have told me.
That's what I thought too. What I figured out was the one had sacrificed the other because a cut like that is usually some kind of sacrifice thing, and then killed the other one in a struggle, and then committed suicide.
I don't know about all that. That is where the keepers of the canals. We always keep people stationed up there just in case to keep an eye on the water. It would not surprise me if the bandits had come to get them. The bandits, we have many bandits.
I I'm good with medicine, and this was not a bandit attack.
These are strange and dark things, especially for a young man of your tender age. I would stay away from such things if I were you.
You
But
joined the guards at 16. Did you not see such things?
yes, but there's sort of easy things like walking up and down the road and walking around the top of the walls and sometimes having to break up the occasional drunken argument where they don't throw you in on the deep end with sacrificed bodies. See, and this is why I think you would stand a chance. See, if you've already seen the body dead people, then why not? You could do so much, my friend. And also, you said you were good with medicine. Here, look at this thing on my foot. He like sits down, like pulls off his sandals and shows you like this big like wart in between his big toe and his second toe. So I've been putting on this compress that my wife's cousin's friend, who is a healer, or so he calls himself on the back of his card. I have been putting his magic ointment on this, and it has done nothing except make it turn funny colors.
What's in the magical ointment?
I don't know. It's a magical ointment. What do I look like, a wizard?
A much more effective way to get rid of it would just use a knife.
Very well. He puts his sandal back on. Is there anything you wanted to see down here, my friend?
I just wanted to talk to people. I don't like being alone.
Oh, surely. Very well. Let's get you a. What kind of drink do you like best, my boy?
I don't really have much other than water.
All right, I'll take 2 cups of your finest spiced sweet wines. He signals to the man, and come, I will tell you stories of when I was younger, man. And so this guy like pulls up a cushion in the back where he gets like settled in, and Abdel will start to tell you things.
Awesome.
All right, so Abdel will tell you stories from his youth. He'll tell you about some guard experiences. He'll tell you about the time he got hit by an old woman with a frying pan so hard he didn't wake up for 2 days.
That's an impressive arm on that woman.
He'll tell you about the time he got kicked in the butt by a donkey and fell down a flight of stairs, which ended up catching him, the criminal. He landed on top of the guy. He tells you this with pride as he talks about how many lashes the man received at the town square. He tells you about how when he and his wife met. They met at the spice market. He sneezed and blew some cumin on her, and she sneezed. And at that point, they were both sneezing, and they were sneezing so bad they needed to stop and get a drink because they had become so dehydrated from sneezing, and they hit it off. He tells you about his daughters. He tells you about his eldest daughter's potential suitor, who he thinks is a scoundrel and a ragamuffin to boot.
Wow.
And he tells you a little bit about he tells you a little bit about what you would expect with guard training. You'd have to pass a short written exam. You'd need to take a what they call a decision-making council, and you'd also need to do combat with a current guard member in single combat. Not necessarily defeat, just
dangerous.
do honorable combat.
Why is that a necessary thing?
It is only with sticks, my friend. Well, spears without tips, to be exact.
I'm really pretty familiar with spears without tips.
Yes, it is how we test the mettle of a man. Spears are simple. I mean, almost anybody can use a spear. I mean, what is more simple than stabbing something repeatedly in the gut? Let me tell you, know who was simple? My wife's cousin's brother's first wife's mother's neighbor. Let me tell you, that was a man who would look outside his house, and when it was nighttime, he'd think, the sun has gone out. This fool, let me tell you about this. And he goes on to tell you all these stories about these various and sundry acquaintances and relations. And Meanwhile, we're gonna cut back upstairs. Um, while Abdel regales you with stories about his family. Meanwhile, we're gonna cut over to the people on the south side of the hodl. So you guys out your windows, you guys can see into more of the city. At this side, this part of the city is slightly lower in elevation. The city sort of slopes down towards the plain. Essentially, it's built right on the edge of the plain in the bottom of the foothills coming out of the mountains that you folks were just climbing. So you're able to see below you. You're able to see large amounts of people, sort of spilling down into this lower city. You see people rushing there with torches, and there's obviously something going on. There's no sound of alarm. Nothing seems to be really amiss. People aren't rushing. They're just sort of going at their own pace. It's mostly families, to be honest. There's people heading down, husbands and wives, children, the occasional group of children coming along with usually an adult in the leading the way. You note that you do interestingly see, you don't see groups of children that are both boys and girls. You only ever see a group of girls or a group of boys walking together with these sort of these single adults. And as of right now, all the people you're seeing, they're human. This is, I mean, you guys are used to living in a world that is predominantly human, but you really haven't seen anybody who's not human.
South side is the boards and...
No,
Yeah.
they're on the north side with you guys.
Oh, right. So it's not me. That's all I know.
Yeah, who is this?
This would be
People-
you, me, Clover, and your brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke my head out and see if there's a guard outside the door.
Yeah, no, as soon as you poke your head out, Shabazz turns to you and goes, "Can I help you?"
What exactly is going on? There's a lot of people moving around outside. Is it like a festival or something?
You see, you are strangers in this land, so I will let this pass. But, you see, that on Thursday night is our holy day. Our holy day is Thursday night into Friday morning. That is when people gather to worship at the temple and hear the words of the priests.
So they're all just going to the temple.
Yes, I think there's a bit of a bigger deal because you know that we have, I believe it was, the lieutenant said you knew this, but Lord Dari
Bigwig.
is in town. Yes.
Yeah, the military bigwig.
Yes.
They're all trying to get a glimpse of the big man.
So it would seem to be, and many of the richer folk are out tonight, and they often give away gifts on nights like this.
Almost disappointed. I was hoping it was a party.
Yeah, we do have parties most other nights.
Most nights, really.
Oh, I mean, once you go down into the lower quarters, when you go down out into where the richer homes are, oh, they party every day.
Cool. Am I allowed to go, like, walk over with my friends, sit in their room for a bit?
Sitting there, yes. That is
Cool.
no trouble at all. Just don't go anywhere where I can't find you. And don't go anywhere where you can't see me or be immediately able to reach out to me. Because this is a strange land. And who knows what could happen. It's like,
Very much. Hey, Clover, you want to go sit with the other girls?
Yes, please. Just,
Night returns.
you're sure, clunk, clunk. Just like, it's like, ah, yes.
I never got to be a part of girls' night before.
Oh, there you
Nexa was never invited.
Was she?
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
It's because you had a different room. Because
Mhm.
you and Eliseth had a room,
Yeah, no.
and you never joined us in that.
Yeah, Kaz and us, we either shared a room or we just inserted
No,
our...
we almost always shared a room.
No,
Yeah.
you shared because you guys had.
Every Kaz got drunk and spilled her heart on the floor moment was when we shared a room. Oh, Kaz.
I'm just having a fun time picturing right now, Francis and Thenmere. How that
Francis is
must
just
be going.
talking non-stop.
So, like my mother used to say.
Yep.
I'm technically supposed to be running Then right now, but I really don't know what Then would do in this scenario.
Shut
Other than
up.
war,
Well,
Francis
I
is
feel like he's
stop.
probably sitting in the corner tinkering.
Just like you come in the next way, just Francis's brains are just splattered across the floor. He wouldn't shut up.
Anyway, yeah, I'll go join Mari and Azalea.
Nice.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Did you see anything interesting from your side of the...
Lot of people apparently go into the temples in the hopes to see a bigwig. Anything from here? Let me come in.
Yeah,
Of course you can come in. Please make yourself
I think you
welcome.
were in already. I'm sorry. No, they really can't
Then
see
we'll
it.
come in and like flop onto one of the things and then roll off.
Azalea will like just go and sit next to her,
Hi,
but like on
Azalea.
the corner.
Is anything happening out at the gate, or is it just people coming in and out?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the gates are closed for the night. Looks like it's getting late.
Yeah, no, not really anybody is coming in. There's really nothing going on. So who are they going to go see?
The big military bigwig.
Did you guys get any food?
No.
No.
Although
Yeah,
technically I
I'm gonna
don't
ask
really
them.
need food for a while.
I'll eat yours.
I want food? So like elves don't have to eat every day. We can go
I'm gonna
for a few days without food, but it's so nice to eat.
I was joking. I
Oh,
promise. I'm not
sorry.
going to eat your food. I would never eat your food.
You got awfully possessive for somebody who really doesn't need to. That said, none of us have. You haven't really eaten much in the past few days, so I can
No, I
understand why
haven't,
you
so
would
I'm
want
kind
to
of
eat.
yeah.
I'm gonna go ask and see if we can get some food and we can just have a
Room
little
service!
dinner party.
Yes! Room service!
Azalea's gonna go ask if they can have something to eat.
What is
Oh,
room
of course. And he yells at the stairs, food! And just like,
I appreciate it. We're all quite hungry.
and like, you guys hear from below, what? Who's he talking to?
Azalea's going to make sure it's clear that all of them need food, not just the people in her room.
Oh, alright. So you hear this like very rapid conversation, just like bouncing back and forth between the sergeant and somebody outside, and eventually you hear like, "I'll give them what I got." Just like some guy who's like, "Oh, they'll take whatever's left," or something along those lines.
And that's really just fine. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And we've probably, well, all except the princess, maybe eaten worse than leftovers.
I have. Okay.
Look, you're a princess. I don't know how your life
Hey, with as many
is.
siblings as I have, leftovers aren't really a thing that we have very often.
Okay, first of all, you really shouldn't. There are very few things that you can actually eat as leftovers without throwing up and getting very ill. Just putting that out there. Also,
Oh, I didn't say you didn't throw up and get ill from it. I just said that there were worse things to eat.
that's fair. Okay, I will admit, I am a princess, but I'm also a princess in the jungle. I've eaten beetles, although usually those are considered a delicacy. But I've
I was
had
going to ask.
I've eaten beetles and like worms and stuff. I made it kind of a very important thing for me. I mean, we are not at war with anyone, so we don't necessarily emphasize that everybody in the palace has to And the royal family has to know how to defend themselves, but I took more classes than most people because, I don't know, I liked it. And so I worked with a couple of military people, and part of that training was you have to be able to survive on, like, worms and stuff. Sort of like, in human terms, Army Rangers type thing. I mean, they told me that
The Army Rangers.
yes, they told me that I probably wouldn't be able to hold up with the, like, super, super good fighters, but I mean, I know how to survive on that sort of thing. So, all that to say, I have had pretty shitty dinners. I'm going to stop talking now.
Okay then.
About this point, you hear dunk, 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 and you see
Is it the room service?
Azalea will go answer the door.
Azalea enters the door, and there is
Hello.
there's a guy in like a purple and orange jacket, and he starts like handing you guys in like these trays. And
I'm gonna like shake his hand very vigorously. Thank you, Mr. Room Service.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
you have any welcome? He's like you know, it's like shaking each of your hands as he goes.
Do you have children called Room Service?
No.
What was your name again?
Is your name not Room Service?
My name is. I'm sorry, most people don't ask me my name. It is a great honor to be asked by a stranger your name.
Do you want to be called Mr. Room
Of
Service?
course.
My name is Malik. Yes, hello, thank you.
Oh, well, Malik, thank you so much
Thank you.
for bringing us some dinner. We really appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
I will tip Malik a copper piece.
Thank you. He'll be like,
I'm rolling around in my pocket. This is a viper fang. It doesn't have any more venom in it, I don't think. But it's cool. Here you go. You can give it to your children.
Thank you. It's just
Okay, bye. I'm gonna shut the door.
this guy's just like.
Azalea! You're not Azalea, you're Amari. Amari, that was rude.
That was very rude. What if he had more things he wanted to say?
I will open the door and go, really sorry about
He'll
that.
open the door. He like has like one of the trays that he was holding like tipped up against his chest,
Azalea will
and he's like,
stick her head
"It's
out
okay."
from like under where you opened the door shorter than you and be like, yes, we're very sorry about that. Are you alright? We hope you didn't drop anything.
It's just the door with the two heads.
I'm so sorry. Do you want another viper fang?
But
I have a lot of
he
them.
just like he pulls out like a handkerchief and just like dabbing at his forehead. He's like, no, thank you. Good night. Yes. Bye. Have a good night. He just like you see he's going to the church. He just looks back at Shabazz like, who are these people and why are they in my hotel?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Wait, which part were you saying was rude?
I bet where you shut the door in his face, Smarts.
I
What
thought
did you think?
I thought he was leaving. No, I wasn't sure if you meant that or if you were saying that it's rude in your in this culture to give people
If you were my brother, I'd bop you over the head right now.
I mean, I've never really encountered someone trying to give viper fangs, so I'm not sure if it's rude or not.
You want a viper fang?
Yes.
What's the use of it?
Literally nothing.
Sewing
I
needle.
don't know. It's a
really
little
cool.
thing to stab something with. Could be handy.
They're not. Honestly, after a while, they get kind of blunted and they can start to disintegrate. Like, probably at least 3 of these that are in my pocket are probably just dust at this point.
Like it's gonna hurt anything?
Not really.
I mean, they've got to be a good method for applying poison.
Possibly. I've never actually considered that.
I'm not there, so I'm not actually saying this.
You're yelling it through the wall.
You said where?
You usually apply poisons to anything.
I mean, well, so here's the thing. When I take out the viper fangs, I don't bring like the venom sac with them because I don't want to die. And
I'm
after
glad you don't want to die.
and yeah, I mean some of the ones that we have in the jungle, they're potent enough that they can probably not necessarily kill you with skin contact, but it would not be necessarily very pleasant, even if it doesn't get to your bloodstream. So I don't know. I usually just cut off the fang part and let it drip out a knife, and then give them out as gifts. Some of the kids, they make like little bracelets out of them. They get a lot of them, and as you get older, as you have these people is a very long time in your as a friend, you add more of them. So I know somebody who had like 16. They're really old, but they have like 6 of them. It's very cool. But anyway, here I go like dig out like two of them. Like one's like kind of disintegrated.
As she's going in this rant,
Thank you.
then just looks at Azalea for a second, and then looks back like, "Ooh, she talks a lot. I might be regretting my decision to come here."
Oh.
Yeah. Now we can start this. You don't have to tell me.
Azalea will like look at her and like smile, like you'll be okay.
You don't have to turn it into a bracelet. I feel like that would be a little bit awkward because you haven't known me for very long. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we could use them as symbols of friendship. That's fine. I think we're all friends, right?
Of course.
I mean, I thought we kind of were, maybe.
I'll be your friend.
Okay, sure. Why don't we eat and then we can decide what to do with these when we're done?
I think eating is a good priority.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's get food out. Azalea will like just start like divvying up food.
Oh, okay. All right. So you guys have bowls of like this thick, spicy potato stew, and it's like it's sprinkled with some green onion on top and some crushed up nuts, and you have inside you have like this hot flatbread. It's like it's spicy. It has butter on the outside. On the inside, it has like oil and this very green mix of spices and garlic all rubbed around on the inside.
Did you just steal
Man,
so
if this is
many?
their leftovers, then I'm really looking forward to eating a normal meal. Holy crap.
And there's
Also,
some.
did you just steal the idea from Manish? Because I'm gonna be so proud of you if you did.
I'd be lying if it wasn't inspiration, but not directly, no. And there's also some rice mixed with like nuts and dried fruit in a little bowl. And you guys have spoons, and it looks like and like the guy brings you like a pouring thing, a carafe of some variety.
Okay. While Azalea is like getting it out, she's gonna ask Cervena, like, so Cervena, what's your favorite type of food?
I didn't think about this.
Generic answer.
Generic answer.
Wherever I'm from, food here.
Ben has actually been living in the desert for the last 40 years, so this
Yeah.
is probably relatively typical of what she eats.
Practice.
Bless you.
Gesundheit?
Question mark?
Well, I have been in the desert for the last 40 years, so, I mean, elvish food isn't really that... I don't know, what is elvish food like, Andrew?
Elvish food is often vegetarian, usually
Yum.
quite plain. It's usually plain. They tend to stray towards sweeter things, elves in general.
Well...
That was an ugly sentence.
We eat...
Biscuit.
I'm very tempted to say bacon as a callback to Casita, but...
That is not vegetarian.
Everyone knows elves eat bake cookies in trees, and that's their favorite food.
Except they have to give the cookies to the government or they'll be shot because elves are communists.
Lemon curd.
Oh! Very
I
good
like
choice.
lemon curd.
I like lemon curd.
And this is coming from Tasha because I will literally eat lemon curd with a spoon and nothing else.
Lemon curd is
Now made me want biscuits.
So,
Sorry.
has the lichen just been quiet?
Okay,
She
I have
has
to.
been. She has been.
What do you like eating, Clover?
I think my favorite kind of food is probably roast lamb.
That's real tasty, yeah.
Is good.
Yes.
I usually eat goats, but I've had done it in a while.
So tell us about yourself. Why did you decide to just leave the rest of the bars and join a bunch of crazy people you met in the middle of the night?
I'm sick of them. I mean,
So sick.
Tell us more!
uh,
I smell dirt.
no, it's fine.
Come on, this is what girls' nights are all about.
Alright, what do you want to know about me?
Trust me. We can get some tea. I have so many sisters. This is normal.
What do you?
I mean, you've met my brother. You can see why I'm
Yes.
crazy.
What do you want to know?
Sure. What are you happy spilling? Why were you sick of that? Where are you from?
I'm from I'm from between two rivers in between Mariel and Morrow. Back from up Francis comes from near that area too. Strayers Point's kind of the nearest big city.
Do you know Francis or just
Oh
the name?
no. I've heard of his family, but we've never met.
Is his family well known?
Um, they are landholders in the region.
You didn't tell us that.
Oh,
No.
so Francis,
Please tell us more.
Francis,
Princess and a prince in the same party.
oh no, nothing like that. His family was of some means, in younger days. His grandfather was rather wealthy. They have a small estate, outside the city. They're no longer wealthy folk, or so I've heard. They still have the ancestral home and stuff. It's a very small little uh, castle, I suppose.
Small castle?
Uh, it's a tower, really.
Even after all these years, sometimes non-elven society is just so weird.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool. I don't have a castle.
I don't.
really have one either.
I don't either. But
Tell
you're a
us more
princess?
about where you're from.
Oh, so, I lived way out on the sort of the frontier, which is, if you go more north, it's up towards, sort of between where, I guess where Mariel's border still is, but sort of beyond where it's enforced. Between there and Vitenland, and where the goblins and we and the elves all live.
Would I know what elvish settlements is near?
Yeah, you would know what's up that way. You know that this is where wood elves tend to live.
Oh, you're up by where the wood elves are.
Yes. Yes. And you know what goes on up there, I suppose.
Do I know that?
Make a history local check with
I assume I would
advantage.
know.
You'd absolutely know.
Yeah.
You know that three-way guerrilla warfare has kind of been going on for centuries.
Ben looks real awkward.
Yes.
I rolled a natural 1.
You know.
So despite the fact that Azalea reads everything, this was apparently one she missed.
Azalea, you're drawing a blank and you're assuming that she's talking about mass production farming.
Maybe you could, remind us, in case, Amari isn't familiar with the region, and in case I haven't remembered what I read on that area.
Oh, no, it's,
I'd be like, mouthful of food.
And I feel really bad because it's where you're from, and I would love to know more about it, because I feel like... Sorry, why don't you just go ahead.
Sorry, no, oh, no, you're right. So, I lived in a little, I was part of my tribe was one of the furthest out, furthest out towards the north. We lived at a settlement, called St. Catherine's Hand. And that's, it's pretty close to where, a big goblin tribe, and, I don't know how much you know, but there's been a very long and very bitter dispute between my people and the wood elves and the goblins and the you don't need to be like that. She looks at you
Or just,
very.
shoved her mouth full of food as an excuse to not talk.
Wait, what did you say?
Chipmunk facing.
Ven is intentionally shoving her mouth full of food to not be asked questions.
Why are we asking more questions now?
No, just
No, because she's talking about the whole elf war thing, and
Oh.
it
Is it pretty? Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. My family was killed when I was younger.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
oh,
It's okay, dear.
I'm.
No, it's so I was raised by my uncle, and my uncle and I, he never had any children of his own, and we get along well, but well, some things aren't meant to last all that long. So I began to travel, and I met them, and I've been traveling ever since. They're good guys. They are.
But they're guys.
They're guys. Oh my god. Have you ever tried to have a full-blown conversation with Jareth? Have you? Jareth?
No, but
I've
I'm assuming that it wasn't particularly fruitful.
No, Zim thinks he knows everything, and he doesn't. And Jareth, if he gets any farther up his own ass, he'd be able to kiss his tonsils.
I like you, Clover.
Boys sometimes.
I know!
Men all the time.
Is your brother like
You're
that?
not wrong.
What was that?
Is your brother like that?
Haven't really seen my brother in the last 40 years or so.
Oh god. Was it that bad?
Then, if you don't mind my asking, why didn't you see him for 40 years? Is
How
that
much do
normal?
you know about elven society?
How much do I know about elven society?
Quick, Harley, ask your dice a question.
What do I need to roll for that? What do you want?
Local or history?
26.
Catch alls.
Catch all.
I know everything.
Harley, you know
Well,
that.
I'm realizing I probably will have to explain this to the people who don't anyway,
Yeah.
so...
So you would know that elven society is it is savagely utilitarian in achieving its ends. It is austere. It is egalitarian. It is based entirely on the purpose of serving itself and its own ends.
Interrupting here,
yes.
Kira's comment is, and I quote, Fen has a stick up his ass, not his own head. Go on.
You know that elven society is stoic. It is focused on extending the ends of the elves themselves. Elves are given a duty to perform inside the society, and they do that duty until presumably their passing or some sort of promotion through their labor happens to occur. There's no idea of royalty or nobility or peasantry or serfdom or even, honestly, even commerce as you would know it. Elven society is, all things are done to the end of furthering elven society. It is a self-serving mechanism to the advancement of elven kind.
If Japan was ruled by communists?
We're communists bordering on Russian communists.
Something like that.
So, basically, when we come of age, every 4 or 5 years or so, we are tested for aptitude. And then you are put in a job which matches your aptitude. most people have some kind of choice about this. I didn't really have any choice, and I got moved to Gel Bar.
Wow. Was there a reason you didn't have a choice?
Yes.
What?
You don't have to share if you
I
don't
was
want.
told that So, I'm a tinkerer.
Yes.
There was a situation in the South, and I didn't just show aptitude for tinkering, I showed aptitude for the skills that you guys know me for. Sneaking around and being a little bit good at kind of stabbing things. So I was right for a situation where the previous tinker got murdered. They didn't know who did it. They were like, hey, let's just send somebody down who has an idea of maybe how to keep themselves alive. And so they said, go to Gel Bar. And I didn't really contact my brother because it wasn't safe. And spoiler alert, I was next on the list. It was a good time. I got kidnapped, but that's all over, and now I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Wow.
Has your brother always
I'm
been
glad-
this brooding?
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, but that just sounds awful. I take it you didn't really want to go.
I hate this freaking desert. Everything is gray. Right, Jesus, I'm talking about Rochester now. I started it and I just went right into the Rochester.
Everything's gray.
Tasha smashes keyboard against wall in Gel Bar.
Freaking Rochester. Everything is brown and yellow and nothing grows and everything is made out of freaking cactuses. Ugh.
You know, if I'm still with you when we get out of this desert, isn't the best. We're gonna go find you some like real flowers. Not cactus flowers, real flowers.
Great. I mean, I live ones, not live.
Yes, live flowers.
Did you say fried?
What?
I'm
Live.
Fried.
Oh, sorry.
Live.
Right, stuck on pieces of paper and
Bacon wrapped bacon and fried flowers.
No.
Like these.
Yes.
I found them outside. It was really exciting.
Oh, good. Alright.
so yeah, and apparently my brilliant brother thinks that because I had no choice, I should continue to be punished and he should still be grumpy with me for getting sent off and having no choice about getting sent off and being kidnapped. Because that makes so much sense. Because he's just a brilliant genius.
That's incredibly frustrating.
You seem like you have quite a bit of pent-up frustration.
Yes, this is really how I wanted my life to go.
Can you quit?
It's every person.
Ha 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 ha.
When you get
I'm gonna take that
assigned
as
a job,
no.
you get to just quit.
I mean, does this randomly disappearing count as quitting by accident?
No, because they eventually got me back. But
Wait a minute. How did they get you back
This
if like
time?
you disappeared
No, we mean
right
now.
now? Like
right
randomly-
now, I don't know. I'm honestly, I have no clue.
Blessing in disguise, perhaps?
Maybe. I mean, tinkering is kind of my jam, but maybe I can also get out of that desert.
I'm sure there are other places to tinker where you're not in so much danger.
Yeah, but generally, if you abandon your post, let's just say that there are consequences. Not particularly pleasant ones. Usually you get court-martialed and exiled. Or imprisoned. They told me this in case I decided to go running off.
It would,
have
but I
another
was told-
court-martial.
it would be a way to see more of the world, being exiled.
What would
Yeah,
you
that
do?
would be great, right until I actually had to go into a Nova society. I mean, then, like, gestures to her face with tattoos, scars, different colored eyes, and spiky hair, and goes, I'm not exactly unobtrusive.
What if they decided to exile you back here? What would you do then?
I don't spend my time thinking about what would happen if I got exiled.
Well, I mean, think about it now. Would you like find a way to sneak away?
I mean,
Probably.
I'm pretty sure when they exile you, they can't be like, here, somewhere else, go. I'm pretty sure it's just like, don't come back to our place. Right?
I think that's usually how it works.
That would make sense. Interesting.
I mean, if I No, never
Honestly,
mind.
I'm also kind of, after the whole fiasco, I'm just a small town tinkerer, so I'm not sure they really care about me. I'd be more worried about what they do with Ben disappearing, so. But, you know,
So basically, keep on the lookout.
he's
for
gonna
big-
stick up his ass, so I don't really care right now.
So we should be looking out for big, strong elves that look scary and probably have hidden weapons because they probably want to kidnap you instead.
I don't know.
I'm going to look for them anyway.
Again, I'm a small town tinkerer. I don't really think they care much. I
either
serve my purpose.
But
They
you
can
said that
probably
Ben
find
might
other
be.
tinkerers.
So we have to look out for them for Sen, probably. Make
Yeah.
sure we don't-
I think he was a bit more important than I was.
Well, I mean, they can't be that upset because he did say that he was going to go out and explore the world, didn't he?
When did he say that?
I thought that was why he had left. I thought he had said that at one point.
He left?
He said that. I thought he had said that he was thinking about going out and like exploring the world anyway. I don't remember if he said that he had already gone out or if he was just talking about it because he said that he'd been in the lab for like 40 years and had never actually gone anywhere.
I'd be surprised if they let him go. It's too useful.
So he was probably just thinking about it.
I don't
So I
know.
guess that's probably.
It's not like my brother talks to me. He talks to Clover more than he talks to me.
Clover, what did he say?
But when?
I don't know. Did he
Okay,
tell you
I
anything?
thought you had your like mysterious tea the other night.
Okay. First of all, just who do you think I am?
Clover, we're not making any assumptions about you.
Sorry.
I'm making assumptions.
And you're welcome to assume away.
Okay, you also did ask how to take his clothes off.
Okay. That was in the interest of medical aid.
She's blushing an awfully lot.
I have fur, idiot.
Yeah, but I can see it under the.
Your fur is turning colors.
So,
Yeah, is Clover showing any signs of like fluster or embarrassment at this point?
make it
Hackles raised.
The normal amount.
the normal. Make a.
Sense motive?
Yeah, those ones.
That's actually real good.
What?
19.
She's a little flustered, yeah.
Wait, what?
She's definitely more than a little flustered. No, so it was just
Red wiggles her eyebrows.
all that your brother said. All that your brother said was your brother is. I thought that I wanted I was a little bit frightened at first. It brought back a few bad memories, but I mean I'm past it. I was a little girl when my family died. I was a little
it's
girl. I'm not
understandable
anymore.
to not be past that.
I
Those things are traumatic and they can follow you for your entire life. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amari's.
I mean, what do you think we're all? Half of us are all crazy people.
I know, but I felt bad because I didn't want to make your brother feel bad. Because I mean,
You deserve it.
that's a little harsh. But I mean, your brother. Yeah, I know he didn't mean to bother me, so I just wanted to go and make sure that that I hadn't, worried. It bothered him, so I just told him that I wanted to tell him that there wasn't any malice between the two of us, and there shouldn't be. There shouldn't need to be, and that we should be friends. And
Amari's gonna lean over and whisper to Savannah. Wait, so if she falls in love with your brother after, I mean, no offense, your civilization kind of slaughtered a bunch of her. Does that count as Stockholm syndrome?
I don't think so.
Where's Stockholm?
Quotes list.
Second question: what's a Stockholm?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know if that's a where or a what. What's a Stockholm?
How does one eat a Stockholm? In your
We had a
note?
lot of cabbage that we found one time. A lot of the vipers didn't like them, so we kind of planted them around. But after a while, okay, no, I can explain to you what a Stockholm is. So there's these weird plants.
Harley, did you say where is Stockholm or what is Stockholm?
I said where's Stockholm first, and then I was like, I guess I wouldn't know if it was a where's, so what's Stockholm?
Okay, so Stockholm is like this weird plant that we have out in the jungle, and so we planted it around because it seemed like the vipers didn't like them. But after a while, even the vipers would like come and eat them, but it actually was like poisoning the vipers. But
Do you
they
have
still
problems
like
with
them.
vipers where you're from?
It's the
Is
jungle.
this a
There's lots
big
of vipers.
Jungle cabbage is a thing?
jungle cabbage that poisons vipers?
I don't know. I didn't say it was cabbage. I said it was a plant.
Oh. Oh.
You did say cabbage the first
I
time.
did. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a plant. It's a plant.
It's cabbage now.
Did you also say that you
Now
had
it's
jungle buffalo?
What'd you say?
I want to see a jungle buffalo. This is
Why are we
Clover.
talking about buffalo?
Because you said that you had jungle buffalo, and I want to see.
I
want to see a jungle
I
buffalo.
like you for knowing that. You're the best.
Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you for finishing, Harley.
What did Clover say about water buffalo?
I want to see a jungle buffalo. You said you had a
She said
jungle
jungle
buffalo.
buffalo, but I went with VeggieTales.
Yes. I just.
I went to the jungle and find. I can show you a buffalo. We don't really mess with them.
Oh, I'm sure. You see, up in the north, up in the way north, we have buffalo too. Not where I live, but further north, up in Vitenland, there are buffalo.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Buffalo like it where it's warm. I've heard that Viceland is pretty cold.
It is, but the buffalo up there are big and furry. And my uncle's seen them.
That seems very strange. But then again, somebody told me that there's such a thing as snow, or like sand that
Oh yeah,
comes out of the
You,
sky.
Yeah.
you see, you
it's
see,
cold
like
and white and it's frozen water. It's real nice.
it's like as soon as you mention snow, you see like the tip of Clover's tail starts to wag a little bit. It's like snow's amazing. Amari, you have to come see snow.
Snow is evil stuff.
If they get you in the north, Amari.
Okay, fine. I will
There's-
admit up
I
and
haven't seen snow in 40 years. You know how much I want snow.
Snow? Okay, we have to go see snow.
I kind of want
I
to
feel
go.
like this is the kind of thing we would, like, drunken plan we would make. Like,
I
our
want to,
characters would make 6 drinks in.
Yes.
Like, we have to go see snow, you guys!
like leave on like a 3-week caravan that night. See, I mean,
Whole
I
campaign derailed to go see snow.
Hey guys.
I got past that stage. Up until I was like 15, I didn't believe in snow. I thought that it was something that my uncle had made up to make fun of me. And then some diplomat came from I think it may have been Mariel, and said that they had snow one time. And I legitimately thought that he was crazy, and I tried to convince him that there was no such thing as snow, and then I realized that my uncle is just an asshole.
What about you, Azalea? Snow fan? Not a snow fan?
Would there be snow in Stereos?
Maybe
There's a mountain.
maybe in the mountains.
That's what I was wondering. Cause mountains can have snow,
Yeah.
but where exactly in Stereos would Azalea be from?
Where did you say you were from?
Oh, I never decided that.
Okay, so you
Any point.
you're educated. I mean, you know what snow is. You probably wouldn't have
But
experienced
have
it.
I seen it?
Probably not if you were in one of the more urban centers.
Have I feel like Azalea's probably not like super urban center, but like mid-size maybe.
That's
I don't know. Have I like seen it in the distance, like on a mountain?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. You've seen
Yeah.
snow.
Okay. I've seen it, but I haven't interacted with it.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I'll
Stereos
do
is
that.
getting towards the equator, I think.
Yes.
I've seen it, but I've never touched it.
Okay.
I want to touch snow. Wait, how do you touch the snow? Wouldn't it like melt or something?
It does
Does.
eventually.
Snow doesn't make any sense.
Gotta get used to snow.
Snow's amazing.
And again, I know this sounds like drunk talk, but I assume there's no alcohol with this food.
No, what's in the carafe is actually a very strong, very, very sweet, very, very strong, very, very thick tea. It's almost it's almost it's very thick tea. It's like almost like have you seen like thickened apple juice for people who have trouble swallowing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No one knows what I'm talking about. It's like that nectar kind of texture.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah.
Like a watery smoothie?
No.
More like
Like the liquid
no.
equivalent of dried apricots.
No.
I pronounced apricots real funny there for a
It's
second.
okay.
Please ignore that.
think of like like it's like maple syrup almost. Like you know how like when you heat up maple syrup, it's like
Ew, why
more.
would you drink that?
Yeah.
It's more like a maple syrup. So it's like it's between like liquid. It's between a liquid and like a syrup.
That's weird.
It's the step between. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you heated up maple syrup, but then let it cool a little bit, so it's not like watery. Fun fact: if you heat up honey for 10 seconds and it gets like really liquidy, it will burn you like a motherfucker.
Sugar
That's
will
not
do
entirely
that.
surprising. It's a lot like hot cheese.
Cheese
It's
hurts.
thick.
Curious.
Yeah,
Also-
Honey's like napalm. Like
Yeah.
it literally is. It hurts a lot.
Just by the way,
Yeah.
Clover.
Yeah.
Your bard buddies gave me the whole Big Brother talk, so try not to die, okay?
oh, thank you. I can write about them. I do love them. I just need a little. Not
Oh,
them.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How well lit is this room?
There's like there's a chandelier with a couple candles.
And it sounds like you'll be able to find them pretty easily as far as things go,
Yeah.
if ever you decide you want to get in contact with them.
Start with the bars, end with the jails. But
What an interesting life.
it's weird. Help.
Wait, have they been in jail before?
Oh yeah.
For what?
Things.
Oh, come on. Shut
Oh.
up.
Vagrancy, petty theft, aggressive panhandling. Public intoxication,
I was about to ask.
brawling,
Oh, boy.
stealing alcohol.
Ooh, thieves.
It seems pretty terrible,
They're
but also kind
not.
of fun.
They are.
I don't know. Sometimes I used to try and steal things just for fun. I got in trouble a couple of times.
Wait, why would you try to steal something for... How is that fun?
Because being a young princess is really boring.
Oh no, your terrible
What's
life.
so boring about being a princess?
You.
I'm getting such brave vibes from this.
Yeah. Do you
Well, because
live in a
at
castle?
first, because I had to really like fight with my parents to let me go outside and do things like a normal human, like a normal citizen of our
Alright,
realm.
now we're getting
Wait,
Rapunzel vibes.
Wait. Do you have a castle then?
Not really.
Oh.
We just kind of had a fancier like. So a lot of us live in like sort of elaborate tents and such, but
Oh.
we lived in like an actual built structure. It wasn't really a castle though; it was just a big house, really.
It wasn't a royal yurt.
Hashtag royal yurt.
I actually want one
Alright,
now.
guess we're putting the royal yurt on the coast list now.
Yeah.
No, for the most part, like they expected to be like a total diplomat. I mean, a lot of my father's later advisors are now trying to sort of make our culture a bit more like stereos or something, a lot less individual. And so they are trying to impress the idea that my siblings and I we should just stay in the castle, stay in our house all the time and just take lessons on history and a whole lot of other things, and we shouldn't have to actually do anything, and we shouldn't learn how to defend ourselves or like go hunt or anything like that. Traditionally, for many years, we were even the royal family was very self-sufficient. We didn't really live any differently from anyone else, other than having tribute paid to us. And
Oh no, you have to have tribute paid to you. Whatever will you do?
okay, first of all, that's not a cat butt. That is a cat face. I don't want to see that.
He's so cute.
Hello, Lewis.
Guys.
He's cute.
Look at your
Wow.
little face.
Aw.
Okay. Okay, listen, if you want me to tell you about it, don't make fun of it. I know that it was very different. I don't you don't choose who you're born into. Honestly, you've heard me talk about being if I could have had my way, I would have lived a completely different life. I would not have been born into royalty. I did not want this. Half the reason why I'm not exactly in a rush to get back to the jungles because I don't want anything to do with that. The only reason that I'm at some point going to have to turn around and head back is because I literally have a duty and because I'm the oldest of all of us, and so there's nobody else to take over except for me.
Are you and your family close?
We are. I just don't appreciate the fact that my father all of a sudden decided to do away with all of our traditions where, again, the royal family was very self-sufficient. Like, we grew our own crops. We never had anything like servants, and we had advisors that were, prominent members of our own tribe and everything else, as opposed to diplomats and such. We're not exactly isolated, but we had our own way of doing things, and we interacted with the other nations when we needed to. And
How
it
big
was,
is your kingdom?
I mean, technically we are the tribes are kind of weird. So our kingdom technically is over the entire Black Jungle, but we're split into sort of federation tribes. So we're kind of the main point of. We're considered the leading tribe out of all of them, but the tribes that the jungle is sort of divvied up between, they have their own way of doing things. They answer
We're,
to us, but they sort of self-govern a little bit.
we're traveling with the air to the entire Black Jungle.
It's like
Oh shit!
it's what it was.
To help them put those pieces together.
So,
Anyway,
Your
my point
Highness.
being, I used to steal things because I literally was bored, and so after a while, my father decided that I was a bit too much trouble, so he allowed me to do a whole lot more, like be a bit more traditional, as opposed to sitting around being stuffy all the time and only really interacting with the people for like social functions and stuff like that.
It's an odd, like, reverse rebellion where you want to be traditional.
I know
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
I don't know. We have a very
I
proud.
felt against the idea of rebelling.
I rebel against.
It's like the goblin teenager that becomes lawful good just to spite the other goblins.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Basically.
I'm a paladin. Oh, that's our son Gromleg. He wears paladin armor for shock value.
The paladin. Paladin of spite.
Oh my word. Meanwhile, downstairs, um, um, you and Abdel are you guys are pretty well deep into your spiced wine. It's very delicious. It's fairly mild. He seems to have gotten a little bit milder for you. You're fairly deep into it. A few of his old cronies at the police, not the police, from the town guard have pulled up cushions at your table, and are chatting away. And one of the old cooks after work has come in, and he's sitting down with you guys and talking. And make a perception check.
Alright, one sec.
Sure.
9.
9. Okay, so you are aware of what sounds like. Yeah, you ain't aware of nothing.
Okay.
You are
Yeah, it's not
aware.
surprising. Felix is not known for his perception.
You're aware of somebody dropping some plates. All right. So,
Okay.
is there anything else you guys want to try and do tonight besides just
I'm just
chat?
gonna keep chatting up the guards.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and play up the, like, poor waif child angle to try and make them all like me. And feel sorry for me and want to do things for me.
Roll a percentile check.
Alright, 1 second.
percentile rather than perform?
Yes, because this isn't so much about his performance. Because he is a poor waif child.
Fair enough.
46.
4d6, alright. So 46, wait, 46? 46, a couple of the guys, but mostly it's Abdel and the cook who hang around to talk to you. Abdel and the
Okay.
cooker. So as you guys are talking, you hear, you see passing behind you, you see that, somebody that catches your eye. Strangely enough, it's a tall gnoll.
Oh.
The first gnoll you've seen, he is shirtless, wearing the traditional sort of like lower like garment, the sort of, I don't know, linen kilt that comes down to the knees. He's shirtless. He is very clearly armed, and wearing what looks like a richly ornamented headdress, one that sort of falls down with sort of like these strips of cloth on either side of his head.
Okay.
You see, he enters and he turns to Abdel and goes, "Where is your commander?"
I would like to greet him in Knoll. Or in Flynn, I suppose, is what I learned. I learned the greetings in Flynn. I'm going to say hi in Flynn and hope that it translates to other Knoll.
He like, I don't know. "Good evening," he says in Knoll, and just like, and turns back to Abdel. "Your commander, now." And Abdel goes, "Well, you see, it is very late. It is your commander, now." And at that, he pulls up the hilt of his sword and shows him a symbol on it. And immediately
Can I see the
Abdel...
symbol?
yeah, sure. You see that it is what looks like, it is a crescent. It is a upside-down crescent. So like if there was liquid in the crescent, if the crescent was a bowl, it'd be pouring out with two lines through it, one on either side. So it'd be like, two lines through a... Here, let me... I should just draw this for you, shouldn't I?
Picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain with 1,000 words, Andrew could get that symbol pretty accurately.
Thank
Yes,
you.
well, it may be a bit of an exaggeration, but
Yes.
to quote Ethan, hush you.
This is the symbol that he shows.
Okay.
That's the symbol on his sword hilt, and immediately Abdel rises and runs for the stair and like jogs the stairs. Sergeant, and ladies, you would hear this outside. You would hear clunk, 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 clunk. Like you'd hear Shabazz going downstairs. Give me 1 second here. I need to send somebody a message. Alright. Okay, alright, so, alright. We'll get to that in a minute. Stay posted. Alright, so, meanwhile, downstairs,
Did I miss something important?
Something's going on downstairs.
something's going on downstairs.
Okay.
Alright, so, Felix, you watch as, sorry. For those of you folks upstairs, I'm sorry, I did screw this all up. Those of you guys see that there is a little ladies, as you're talking, there's a little poof, and a little rolled up paper drops in front of Cervena.
What is that?
Again.
Is this something that happens to you often?
One doesn't understand. No.
Oh! Oh!
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have a stalker? Did we have this conversation? I have deja vu.
Yes, we did have this conversation already. The last time this
Did I
happened, a
have
week
this
and a half ago.
I don't think I was there. Was Azalea there?
Probably.
So yeah.
Okay. Can someone fill me in?
Basically,
Then got a note pop out of nowhere, rolled her eyes, and said about what she said this time.
Or
can you like block like
Block.
interplanar communications from like stalker people? That would be funny.
That would be great, but
Okay.
well, we
We
will.
can plan it.
If you can block scrying,
I
you
have-
can
I
probably
have
block
stuff.
things from being sent to you.
Amari's gonna like pick up. Amari's gonna like cast spark actually, because I'm pretty sure I had that prepared and like start
Please-
walking towards it.
Please don't. Just give me a minute.
But
Are you?
if he's stalking you, wouldn't you want to get rid of it?
No, because I'm actually in the same city for once, so I can go tell him off tomorrow on my own.
Wait, seriously?
Yes,
How do you know that he's in the same city?
because he lives in Telmarna.
How long has this been going on for?
But I also, why do you still want to know if you know that he's here and you don't actually care what he has to say?
Well, it's worth reading anyway.
Is he a good writer? Does he write you poetry?
Can we see it?
No, and no.
you're right.
I'm sorry. I don't feel the need to share the
Hey,
broken
wait.
remains of my love life with people who I've known for a week and a half.
Savannah, you certainly don't have to share it. Amari, you should give it back to her.
Is that
I don't
us?
want it.
Is that us, or did you only know the guy in your
Oh,
love
okay.
life for a week and a half, or both?
Say again?
Do you know? Have you known only us for a week and a half, or did you only know the guy in your love life for a week and a half, or
I know
both?
you for them for a week and a half, and you for a day.
That's fair.
You don't have to tell us anything you don't want to. I'm sorry if I seemed like I was praying. I was just trying
Okay.
to.
It's okay.
Okay, can you
Are we
read
sure?
mention I burn it?
In the least.
After you read it, do you want me to burn it? That way you don't have to
I
think
think I'm
about it.
capable of starting a fire on my own.
Amari, maybe we should just give her a little bit of space.
Oh, okay. I'm
Then-
very sorry.
Goes out the door for a minute.
You go out the door and you
Sorry.
see that
You ever had
Shabazz
a
isn't there.
Can I see what?
Yeah, Shabazz is not at the top of the stairs.
Is not.
He's not there.
Right.
Alright, so
I will open the note and read it.
okay. Meanwhile, down below, as you are reading the note, down below, Felix, you are watching as this Knoll, he as Shabazz comes down, he bows deeply to Shabazz.
No.
The Knoll bows to
No
Shabazz.
bells to Shabazz. Okay,
Yes.
I was gonna say, seems odd.
Yes, and you hear occasional strains of their conversation. You hear first it's very quiet, but it gets a little louder as they go. You hear, no, we are not. This is a guard station. This is not that we can't do these kinds. Go back into you're hearing mostly Shabazz's side.
Do I hear any of this from above the stairs?
You'd be hearing a little bit. You'd be hearing
Okay.
just about as much as Felix would be. Look, friend, as much as I want to help you and your mistress, we can't do this. There has been that we're strained enough as it is. And then you hear the Knoll's voice. Very well. I will go to my lady, and I will tell her you have said this. And what is your name, Sergeant? Tis Shabazz. Very well. And with that, you hear the heavy footsteps of the Knoll walking out into the night. The other thing that you notice about him is unlike the usual jackal coloration, he's very, very dark, very gray, like charcoal. Very Just big. He's big. Even for a gnome, he's big. Like, big enough that he needs to duck as he goes out the door. Alright, is there anything else you guys want to do tonight?
Apologize to everybody for walking out in a huff.
It's
Then
okay.
comes back probably a couple minutes later and is like, sorry.
It's okay.
It's really
It's
polite.
memories of not great times.
Oh.
Also,
It's understandable, and I'm really sorry you had to experience whatever it is that you did.
Ven, I'm really sorry. I know I talk a lot. I don't, again, like, I kind of do my own thing when I'm at home, but it's been a long time since I really got to hang out with a lot of people, and I get overly excited, and I'm sorry.
Oh,
When-
well, we're glad to have you, Amari.
Do you want to order some
Ven especially,
alcohol?
I'm really sorry.
Do you guys want to
What
order?
was it to say?
Do you guys want to order some booze? You look like you need it.
Okay, that might not be a good idea. The others have heard this before, but I had a drinking problem
Oh
about
God, I'm
30
sorry.
years back, so...
No. Okay, let's
wanna
not
end up
do
in
that.
Turns
jail.
out that when you get kidnapped and tossed in a cell and starved for a long time, you tend to turn to booze afterward, and it is a really bad habit to break.
Okay, that's a really big deal, and we're not gonna do that.
Why don't we just ask for some more of this weird tea or normal tea?
Let's ask for normal tea.
Sugar and caffeine are very good substitute drugs.
Yells Felix from the bottom floor.
It's my commentary, not Felix's.
All right,
But
so
then you will step out and try to ask for some more regular.
okay, you see, just as Shabazz is coming up the stairs, you're like, just as Shabazz is like coming up the stairs, like rubbing his forehead.
Pardon, are you
Yes.
all right?
Yes, I'm fine. What can I do for you?
Are you really sure you're
Yes.
not all right? I mean,
Lady, what do you want? He's like,
we were just wondering if we could get a bit of tea.
oh, sure thing. What kind of tea?
Earl Grey would be lovely.
What the hell is Earl Grey tea, lady?
Black tea?
I have that. He yells, black tea! Chop chop, and you hear a voice from below. Is he talking to us again? Alright. So is there anything else that Felix would like to do for the night? The ladies get their tea and settle in. Is there anything else you guys want to do tonight before tomorrow morning?
Nope, I'm just trying to make friends.
Alright, cool. Well, you seem to have gotten one in Abdel and the cook.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go downstairs with Stuko and go to the innkeeper if I can find him.
Okay, if you go outside, Shabazz will insist that you take a guard with you. He brings you a rather formidable woman in her 30s.
Hey, so here's the deal. My cat also needs to eat, and I don't know. Do you have? She kind of leans in very.
Oh yeah, my fox also needs to eat.
We also have a fox here.
His name is Todd.
His name is Todd.
Are you saying this to the innkeeper or the guard?
To the innkeeper.
Okay.
Listen, so don't tell the guard. I don't know if he knows about it. But do you have any problem with rodents or anything? I don't want to scare your people or anything. Basically, what I'm saying is that if you can pay us or you cannot. You're kind of being really nice to us anyway. As sort of payment, Stuko, my cat. This is Stuko. He's kind of scary, but he's okay. Stuko and our fox can eat your rodents for you if you want. They're very good at catching things.
The innkeeper is an older gentleman with a well-groomed and pointed goatee, white
Where's
hair.
this man coming from?
He's the innkeeper.
You said that there was a formidable woman in her 30s.
That was the guard.
Oh,
Did everybody think I was talking about the innkeeper? I'm sorry. I did refer to the guy.
I think I'm dumb. It's
But
okay.
Open goes, well, there is. Give me a moment. Would the dormice be okay?
I mean, if you have anything more substantial like rats, I'm sure. If you have a lot of dormice, then Stuko will probably be happy. And I'm sure Todd will be fine with that. But if you have anything bigger, this is basically like a mini tiger.
There's a tiger in my inn. Okay.
I was trying not to.
This
You know
country.
what that reminds me of?
Wait,
I know
what?
what that reminds me of.
What?
Criminals,
what?
lassie, what are you doing there?
Do not enter.
Let's enter Susan's refuse.
There's a tiger in my inn. There's a tiger in my. Usually, this old man's like mumbling to himself as he disappears back into the kitchen. He's like, these police officers, they bring nothing but trouble. You hear him talking to himself. You'd think it'd be the opposite. The town guard on top of the jail. The place, you think it'd be the safest. But no, there's a bloody tiger running around. There's
Laura's gonna
no.
like run over. Listen, okay, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Yeah, Stuko, come here. I'm gonna pick Stuko up. This is Stuko.
No. There's no problem with the tiger. He's like scratching the tiger's head absentmindedly, looking at you. He's like,
gonna kind of like give him like a really look.
he's like, oh, it's a good cat. He like starts scratching him under the chin. He's like, but listen, here is the problem. We are always to show it is part of city. It's part of the culture. We always must be hospitable to the travelers, to the people coming through. This is how we do it, and it is the way we show it is in food and whatnot, and this is part of our duty. And he hands you like a dish, like a ceramic dish that has like some strange looking like white meat stuffed with something. There's like 3 or 4, and he's like, "Here's dormice. It is good for cat. Cat will like."
Do you have like? I'm gonna like size it up. Like, how big of it? Like, is it like this big?
No.
Like bigger, or like dormouse?
Dormouse, like that big. They're like
Okay, how many of these
like
do you have?
I have 5. 5 left after dinner.
Okay. Can we take all of them?
Oh, absolutely. They are done. They are done. There is no more dinner being served. Here, take it. It is cold. I do not care for them myself.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're very
I'm gonna
welcome.
run up and like give like 3 of them to Todd, and I'm gonna go up to the guard and be like, "Listen, basically a tiger needs to go out and eat, and otherwise, if you don't let him out, he might start eating you. So you might want to let him go because these dormice are not going to feed him
Make
very
it-
much."
Make a intimidation roll. Intimidation with disadvantage.
I really don't know what she's going for. Oh, frick. That's actually not that bad. Could be worse. No, it was worse. 9.
The guard pulls herself up. She's taller than you. She's probably she's a little bit frightening. She puts her finger against your shoulder and she's like, "Ma'am, you and your tiger will eat dinner in your room like everybody else.
Oof.
Do you understand me?"
Okay.
Good. And she turn you around and give you a little push up the stairs.
Give me 1 second. I do want to check on one thing. You can come. It's fine. I'm
What
gonna
do
go
you
back
do?
down. I'm just gonna look around through. I'm gonna go back to the kitchen. And talk to. I'm gonna flag down the innkeeper and basically.
Yes.
Do you have towels or anything?
Oh yes.
It's like an extra towel. That's all I need. And she's gonna kind of angle herself so that she kind of is standing just a little bit awkwardly with the cooks, and I'm gonna let Stuko kind of sneak out someplace. Is there a back way out of this kitchen or anything?
Yeah. No. There's a back kitchen door.
I'm just gonna.
All right. Have Stuka make a stealth check. This session has been going a lot slower than I wanted it to.
Sorry.
Is that unusual?
Yes. A little bit.
No, I'm sorry.
I feel like it's not that unusual for us.
Would it be with advantage if it's busy in here?
But there's also a tiger that you've been talking about incessantly, so I think that everybody kind of is aware that the cat's there.
He's really not a tiger, though.
Okay. Well,
The cat's out of the bag.
He's a mini small. Okay. I'm trying to actually. I don't know why it's so hard to find this stuff after the fact because it's really only in like one spot that all the information is there. So give me like 1 second. I'm really
Sure
sorry.
thing. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you go to bed?
Nope.
Okay, Felix, you're good. You're good. Your love life is settled. Your love life is settled.
Oh man.
Okay, so your love life is settled. Felix, your career path is set. Um.
Okay, I think what's the modifier for 15?
3.
2.
No, 2. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, it's like a 10.
It's a 10. Stuco slips out of the kitchen.
Sweet.
The guard turns to you and she's like, "Are you done yet?"
Yeah.
All
I
right.
got some hot towels. Do you want a hot towel? I will get you a hot towel. We can find some hot water.
No, I don't want the hot towel. I want to go home and go to bed. Thank you.
Do you want a hot towel? to go
No.
home with?
She's like starts pushing you back up the stairs.
I know how to
This session, Amari is killed by angry guards.
Don't
So
even.
escape successfully.
I will go back in the room.
Ew.
Sorry
about that.
And Todd, how is Todd? Is Todd happy with his dormice?
Oh no! What noises does Todd make?
The fox.
What sound the fox
Basically,
makes.
it's like a woman screaming.
Okay, so you bring Todd Dormice.
Todd will not make any noise.
See, that's gonna be like how we
But
do.
that is the noise Fox makes, and it's really unsettling.
It really is. Wait, no, we can use it as a distraction. Just have the fox start screaming.
Yeah,
It's actually a good idea.
I would assume that
How are you
Todd.
communicating it?
I would say that Todd makes like little meep noises when he's happy.
Okay.
I think it sounds like
That's
a
just
good way
what
to lure
Andrew wants.
unsuspecting travelers into a trap
What?
so we can rob them.
Yes.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I think it sounds like a good way to lure unsuspecting travelers into a trap so we can rob them.
That's okay.
Todd will not be used for such deceptive and I'm blanking on the word I wanted. Yeah.
Unkind.
That way.
Untoward.
Unkind ends. Todd is a good fox.
Also, Andrew, wait, what did you say before that?
Named after a character in a children's movie.
Okay, no.
A depressing children's movie.
Wait, so are you just so Todd makes meep noises?
Yes.
I think that's the sound that Andrew wants foxes to actually make.
Yes, it is.
Is Todd friends with the small hound dog?
Yes.
Oh, that's a depressing movie.
Wait, did you just figure that out that that's why I named him Todd?
It took me a while because I was thinking you had named him after Mr. Todd from
Peter Spotter.
Yeah, The Tale of Mr. Todd is what I was
I
thinking.
had it
Remember
figured
Mr.
out.
Todd like a horrible thing?
Yes, he was. But
I
yeah,
mean, like, unless like you specifically.
Named after the fox.
bad
Todd.
fox.
meep.
No idea what you guys are talking
That's okay. All right, so
There's a really sad Disney movie about
I
hound
know you
and-
told me about the Fox and the Hound, but then it went off somewhere else, I thought.
Oh.
we wandered into Beatrix Potter, the strange,
Okay.
beautiful, adorable nightmare world of Beatrix Potter.
Not a nightmare world. What are you talking about?
Absolutely not familiar.
I love Beatrix Potter, actually.
That's not a nightmare. What is wrong with you? Don't.
I'm sorry, there are rats in the walls that steal your kitten children and try to make them into dumplings?
Okay.
Nightmare world.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that one.
Yeah. That's like one of my favorite ones, actually, though.
It is. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's a really good
Mostly
story.
because the house was so cool.
What?
Mostly because the house was so super
Yes.
cool.
The one that's really cool is the one with Hunka Munka. And they're
Oh, that's the best.
Hunka Munka, and they're smashing the porcelain
Okay, so
turkey.
there is one story with like these two very bad mice named Hunka Munka, and I forget what her husband's name is.
Yes.
And basically, they like go and like try and steal like food from a dollhouse, and then they get really mad when they realize that all the food is porcelain because it's a dollhouse, and they like wreck the entire house.
They-
And then like the girl who owns it, like, because it's her dollhouse, like she gets like a policeman doll to like scare the mice off.
It's like they go like full like The Who on this dollhouse.
It was great.
It sounds like actual mice.
It's
These are evil.
It was fun.
Basically.
All right,
But
so
then they turn into good mice, and they like fix all the things, and they go and they clean the dollhouse for the dolls that are inanimate and
Can we
can't.
maybe talk about this after the session?
yes, we should. I'm so sorry. This is
What a grand idea.
grand idea. All right, so also one of my toenails fell off. But that's beside the
That's it. Like the
What?
entire
Randomly
What was
dropped
it?
that
Yeah,
in
the-
conversation.
okay.
Oh, that reminds me of something else weird.
Oh my word! Can we get back on topic here?
Wait, no, we need to do the weird thing now.
Okay, so
No, I'm just gonna type it.
Okay.
all right,
Yes,
so
okay, Andrew.
the next morning,
Wait, Noah said something.
No, I was just saying continue.
no one's saying please keep going.
We finally made it to the next morning, guys. It only took us 2 hours.
But you guys were having fun talking. Don't tell me you weren't.
It was great.
All right. So you guys, the girls, you all slept in one room, all like schlumped up around different
Sleepover
places.
style.
Yeah, sleepover style. You guys are all schlumped up different places, and Felix, you go back and you hang out with the bards who are knockout, drop dead, drunk. When you get back to the rooms, you're not sure how they got alcohol. They seem to have carried it with them.
Wait, are all of them still here?
Yeah, the bards they were meaning to pass through the city,
Oh.
but they got detained along with you.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, so, so, okay, now I gotta know the end. You know, Harley, dang it, no, I'm kidding. So, no, it's like,
What?
Wait, what?
oh, it's not that weird. Fine.
It was really weird.
Okay.
Okay, so the morning.
The morning,
Morning.
yes. A hot desert sun seeps through the windows.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. You smell something cooking. You
I
smell.
was meaning the sun.
Oh, right. You're a plant. So, you guys are, Felix, you awake well rested. The next to you, you see that your two bard friends are just spilled out across their pallet, bottles rolling to the sides as they resettle themselves in slumber. You hear from next door, you hear from Ven and Francis, you hear uproarious snoring coming from inside.
I think you mean Fen and Francis.
Yeah. Oh, yes! I'm very sorry! That became... Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No, Francis is not the broken part of my love life.
Yes. One night stand with Francis.
Oh,
30 years ago. Oh, wait, he wasn't alive 30 years ago.
it's
Never
true.
mind.
50 Shades of Terrible Mother's Wisdom.
Quotes.
Oh.
So there's snoring.
Yes, there's snoring. Girls across the hall as the sun is sleeping gently through your window, playing shadows across the floor. You all start to wake up. You are all sort of shmucked up in different parts of the room. Very, very comfortable. It was nice. It was nice. You guys had a good night.
Zelia now misses her sisters.
Oh. Outside, you hear pacing.
Oh, I've probably been awake for a few hours.
Yeah, no, you've been awake for a while. You of all people, you definitely hear it. So there's no attempt to disguise it here.
Poke my head out.
Poke your head out, and you see that there's a guard patrolling. A younger guard, looks like it's a teenager, patrolling with a very long spear that he keeps accidentally bumping into door frames.
Hey. Sorry.
It's okay.
Wake them up.
Oh, sorry. What do you need?
Do you know how long we're being kept in this inn?
I do not know.
When does the bigwig leave?
The big is, I don't know. They said he was going to stay longer than expected. I don't know if you should be like that. I don't know. Sergeant Sabaz wants to talk to you, but I don't know where he is.
Okay. Thank you.
Probably being court-martialed.
Clearly.
Marshals.
Hey guys, it's been 3 sessions without a court martial.
Look at us go.
Alright,
We're
so
such law-abiding citizens.
so you guys are hearing creak, 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 thunk, creak, creak, thunk, creak, 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 thunk, 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 creak, thunk.
Stuco, come back yet.
I'd like to go outside and make friends with the guy.
Alright, you go outside and the guy goes, "Ha!" as you open the door.
Also,
I'm kind of scared of
if
it.
he was like obviously banging his
Yes.
spear all the time while people were asleep, I'm gonna try and teach him how to not run his spear into the door all the time.
Okay, so, Felix, you peek outside and you see, like, Servena's out there, like, adjusting this kid and, like pushing. Spear, hold here,
And, like,
chest
well,
up,
like,
belly
wait,
in.
and
Yeah, no, so you guys can talk for a little bit.
Did Stuco get back?
Stuco, you guys in the hallway, you'll see that Stuco is curled up outside your door.
Once Amara gets up, she's gonna go and like pick him up and like be like, "Hi, Stuco, buddy." And Stuco's just gonna be like,
Wow. Just like so.
"Did you eat? Did you get good food?
Wow.
Good job. Good to go. Good boy."
So as you're sitting there stroking Stuco, you hear heavy feet coming up the stairs,
I'm gonna like drop Stuco, like stick him back in the room.
and you see a very, very tired-looking Sergeant Shabazz coming up the stairs.
you wanted to talk to us, Sergeant?
Yes, I did. I just wanted to say that apologies. I'm becoming very Russian. I'm so tired. I have become Russian.
You're imitating my voice. I feel so flattered.
Is he doing a good job?
No, he's like, right. There's another toenail fall off?
What?
Hold on. I appear to be having a toenail crisis.
Are you losing another one?
I don't know.
Cousin?
Andrew, I'm seriously concerned for your health.
Is this the session where all of Andrew's toenails like randomly drop?
This is really
Have you been exposed to large amounts of nuclear radiation?
No!
He's turning into Toenail Man.
Toenail. Oh.
Losing hair.
Keratin Man. Keratin Man.
Carrot
I feel like
in
that
man?
hair loss happened a while ago and it was because he cut it.
Yes. Alright, so meanwhile, Sergeant goes, yes, I am very sorry for all the things that have happened. We have been poor hosts. It appears that the Lord Bari will be staying longer, and I believe we are going to give you folks the chance to find your own lodging in the city. We have no reason to hold you. We think you people are just mixed up in something very bad. Just if you could take this, here it is. He takes a little marker. It's almost like a little chess piece, but it's designed almost like, it looks like a square. Okay, so it looks almost like an hourglass, but if it wasn't shaped like an hourglass.
An hourglass
is
wasn't
not
shaped
shaped like an hourglass.
How descriptive.
literally anything except an hourglass.
Okay, so it looks like if you had taken like a cylinder and you would push the middle together,
Like an hour.
That's an hourglass.
like an hourglass, but the top was flat, like an hourglass, but there's like a little half orb on top of it, and there's no sand in the middle.
Okay.
So kind of
Okay,
like
sure.
the
It's all solid.
What
so
was
like
it?
the World Cup like trophy.
It's a little token.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
token. He's like, this is an affidavit saying that you will come back to us and talk about the murder that you witnessed. Or
Well,
the
technically, we didn't witness the murder. We just found the bodies.
yes, you see that there's going to be an inquest. All we ask is that you do not leave town.
Sure.
It should be in 2 to 3 days. You will need to come back to this office and tell us where you will be staying. come back to my office downstairs, talk to my leader, talk to my leader. I keep referring to the lieutenant as his leader.
We shall take you to the leader.
You may talk to the lieutenant or me, and we will see to it that this is handled neatly and cleanly. We have had the chance to look at the injuries inflicted, and they are consistent with what the young boy said. And we do not believe that you are suspects or anything in this crime.
Glad to hear it.
Yes, we have many strange. The city has been going to the dogs lately. He looks at Todd, but
Todd
He's
said
a dog.
oh sorry,
Todd in the box.
he looks at Todd and then to Clover and then back to Todd and back to Clover and then back to whoever he's talking to.
That's racist.
I don't know what you mean, madam. But he will shake each of your hands individually.
Well, I will glare at him until he shakes Clover's hand.
He saves hers for last, and as he's walking down the stairs, you see him wiping it on his sleeve.
I'm legitimately shocked that he has more issues with the Lycan than he does with the elves.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not the bottom of the barrel anymore. Woot woot.
If he's still going down the stairs, I'm gonna I'm gonna call Stuko and have him run down and nearly trip the guy.
Shabazz wipes out hardcore on the last 3 steps.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. That was not on purpose.
Oh!
You need to watch where you're going.
Azalea gives her a look.
You shouldn't trip racist people. That's rude.
Shabazz just looks up at you, just please God, just let me go home now. Look, and just gets up and just rubbing his tailbone, heads for the door. Thank you. Behind you, the kid is still patrolling. Here's your step, funk, step, funk, funk, step, funk.
Is it fewer thunks?
I thought I fixed your pass-through. Remember,
chest
up, hold the spear straight. There you go.
Step, steppy, step.
Felix is gonna ask, where did you learn to march with a spear?
From...
No, I'm asking Ben.
Ben?
Oh.
I mean, I didn't really, but I kind of just looked obvious. I mean, if you're holding it sideways, it ignores a lot more often.
Oh, okay.
And if you're leaning sideways to the direction that it's sideways, you're just yeah.
So he's walking down the hallway and a spear God. What is this session? My toenails are falling off. This entire guard force is like the gang that can't shoot straight. Oh, my word. Oh, my word, we're on the internet. I forgot we're on the internet.
Was this what the little
You
thing
forget
looks
before
like?
you showed your nasty toenails?
What? Is that an
Is
intro?
this what the little thingy looks like?
Yeah! That's great, Harley. Thank you.
Kudos,
You're
man.
welcome.
Wait,
Okay.
Harley, hang on. Hold it up again. Oh, nice. Yeah.
See, that to me, that looks like one of the Oscars, but with a wider base.
It reminds me of the little thing from Pixar for some reason. When the little lamp tries to jump on the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I see it.
I don't really know why.
If they had twisted the eye instead of had it straight.
Yeah. Alright, so, the day is yours, your freedom is yours.
To the library!
The
I just
library.
really wanted to say that.
I mean, you guys... I know that some of you guys wanted to go shopping, I know that some of you guys wanted to go to the library, I know some of you guys wanted to go to the temple. You could
I'd also
split up.
add something to the list to see if there's any arcane consultants in the city.
Oh, okay, alright, arcane consultants, alright. Alright, so you guys can split up.
Yeah, I had, 2 months ago, when I thought we were going to be in the city soon, I made up a list all the stuff I wanted to
Oh
buy.
my word, sorry.
But unfortunately, in the long amount of time that has elapsed since then, I seem to have misplaced the list of all of the things I wanted to buy when we made it to the city.
Goodness, how much money do you have?
Well, I mean, when you're buying simple, ordinary items that aren't magical, you can buy a lot for 80
That's
gold.
fair. Wait, what are you trying to buy?
I wanted to buy things like extra stuff to go with my medical kits. Like you can get a surgeon's kit to go with the medical kit. You can get antidote stuff so that
You
you
can
can deal
remove
with
all
poisons.
gallbladders.
I also wanted to get
What's
things
the reason
like
you have your gallbladder removed?
Yeah, we all want a 15-year-old to remove our gallbladder in the middle of nowhere in medieval deserts.
Cosmetic gallbladder surgery.
Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, there was other stuff too. Like I wanted to get a bag of caltrops because why not have a bag of caltrops? That's a useful thing to have around.
Okay.
And sewing needles, and there's just stuff like that. I wanted to get a religious text, and I wanted to get a holy symbol. I just wanted to buy one so that I could pretend to be a priest if I ever needed to be.
Sure.
Stuff like that. It was all pretty cheap, but most of it was like 1 gold piece, 2 gold pieces, 10 gold pieces, kind of thing. So
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. No.
none of it was
So
uncommon. But I looked up all of the prices and it all added up. So
as you guys are sailing around, you see that your friend from last night, the cook, is trying to get your attention.
Oh,
Yes. Hello, my boy. Listen to me. Here, bring your friends all around so we can give you breakfast before you go on your way. Eh?
oh, wonderful! I haven't eaten in days.
Oh, he like
You ate last night.
he looks at you like, oh, boys these days. It's like, so the cook is gonna go and he's gonna get you guys. He's gonna make you guys like a big plate of a bunch of different like fry breads. Like some are sweet.
Bacon?
There's no bacon. I'm sorry.
oh wait.
But there's all different kinds of fry breads. There's some with like butter and garlic in the inside. There's some with oil and spicy peppers. There's some that have like cinnamon and sugar, and even one that has like
Yum.
chocolate and nuts in it.
Not yum.
That is hardcore going for the sweet ones.
Yeah, it's just like
I'll go for the cinnamon.
cinnamon. Okay, yeah, no, you guys are welcome to do this. So the cook is kind of hovering around if you guys want to ask him anything.
I want to thank him for breakfast and for his hospitality the entire time.
Upon when you thank him for his hospitality, he bows very deeply to you and says, "At your service, madam. It is our duty."
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Always. Yes. Is there anything you're planning to do while in the city?
I want to go over to the local library if you have one.
Oh, there is a library, but getting in there might be a challenge. You are a
Why is
foreigner. You are a foreigner. The library is for scholars.
I mean, I know I'm not from here, but I'm a librarian, so I kind of a little bit a scholar, I think.
Oh, okay. Perhaps it should not be a problem for you then.
Can I come with her?
I
I'm
do
her
not.
student.
Oh, I mean, many people are tutored there. I know that.
I am. Yes, she's my tutor. She teaches
Oh,
me things
yes.
about the universe.
I had the cousin. I had the cousin there who he works for the treasury, and he was tutored there.
Really?
Yes.
That's fascinating. What was he tutored in specifically? Out of
Tax-
curiosity,
Tax law.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Did you like it?
No, madam.
It sounds pretty boring.
It is, but he lives in a much bigger house than I do.
I'm sad then.
Is there any
Wonderful.
other?
Would you be able to tell us which direction the library is?
Yes. So he's going to point. He's going to say it's on the far southeastern side of the city. So if you guys, wait. This would be catty corner away from you guys. This would be the farthest possible walk.
You wouldn't happen to know if there was anywhere you could ask, like, questions about arcane stuff. People would know that, would you?
Oh,
Or
magic.
like a wizard's
Oh,
college?
that's
Or...
magic. No, not
That
here.
would be cool to visit.
There are fortune tellers down in the markets.
No wizards in the whole city?
Oh no, I'm sure there is a wizard. There are many wizards around. I'm sure, but we do not. I mean, madam, there is. I mean, there's the place where the magic is taught is not in Telmarna.
Hmm.
You wouldn't happen to know of any wizards, would you?
Oh no, I like I said, there are people who can tell fortunes and cross palms, but you would have to go and.
Just talk to Abdul or whatever the guy's name was that I was talking to last night.
Ab-
His sister's cousin's brother's second wife's aunt knows a wizard.
What?
Abdel, you could yes,
Abdel,
you
yes.
could talk to Abdel. Abdel knows many people. He has worked
Well, see if I
nights.
can find Abdel then. And
Okay.
ask that. Doesn't necessarily have to be acted out. That's easier, but who
All right.
knows?
Sure. Is there anything else you are looking for?
Just the shopping district.
Oh, shopping district. Okay. So if you're looking for a bargain, you could head north towards the outer wall. There's many discount shops there. But if you are looking for the better stuff, you can head up this street. If he's gonna point you out, and he's gonna say you're gonna make a left, and then it's the immediate right. That is the main street that leads all the way down to the temple, and the shopping district is all in there. That's where all the bazaars are.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Very well, my young friend. You and your traveling companions. You can come back whenever you are, whenever you feel, whenever you desire. We don't usually have rooms for people who are not part of the guards, but it has been an honor to meet you. Yes, and he'll bow to each of you as you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so you guys, the morning is yours. You have eaten well.
Well, Amari, off to the library?
Yes, I actually really like books. We don't have a whole lot of them. Well,
It looks like we might be here for a few days. I might come with you guys.
that's
Yeah.
fun.
Let's do it. Quick question because I need a
Yes.
small refresher.
Yes.
Who is Jalbar? Who do they like?
Who do they like? They
Not
don't.
stereos.
They don't like stereos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not us.
They don't like the gnolls. And by extension, they consider the Lycans just weird gnolls. They consider them like less scary gnolls.
Okay, but who do they like?
Oh, they like humans. They like tabaxi. I mean, tabaxi are the
Where do
ruling
they
class.
like?
Where?
You know what?
I'm sorry. They don't really necessarily like anywhere. They were an empire. They were they were an empire at one time. They don't really necessarily get along with anybody. They're okay with orcs. They're okay with orcs.
Okay, if Azalea is if they're clearly foreigners and they want to go to the library, Azalea's not gonna say they're from Stereos, but if they ask, they need to have somewhere to say that they're from. So she's trying to think
You know
of
what?
which
I'm actually gonna back out of the library.
Felix.
place they should be from.
Felix
Wait,
is
why are you
going
not
to-
going to the library? That's sad.
Because I'm realizing there's probably other things. I did want to try and take care of something else. Maybe I can join you guys at the library another day for a while.
Yeah.
Is everything
Felix is
okay?
going to suggest
Yes.
that we all go down to the market first and buy local Jalbar-looking clothing.
That's
So we don't
actually a
stand
really
out like a sore thumb like foreigners.
Would I have that?
good idea.
for me at least.
Would you? Yeah, no, you would have normal clothes. I mean, presumably you're.
And I would probably have changed into that over my armor.
Yeah, that's pretty logical.
It's,
That's
you know,
not a bad idea.
living in Jabbar.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Is everything okay, Savannah? You don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Again, I don't know how long we're going to be here, and if I end up going to the library having said, like, oh, I have time later, and then I don't have time later, I'm going to kick myself for it.
Hmm.
Do you actually walk near here? Where? Where in Jabbar were you?
A little bit farther up the other way. There's an elvish settlement on the north end of the desert.
Do you think you'll stay with us, or are you going to go back?
I have no idea.
Okay,
um.
you should stay. But
You should.
I won't pressure you, obviously.
So
I mean, I don't know where you guys are going next.
don't
We're
know.
going next, so
I don't know either.
If you guys are going to the market with Felix, then he's going to chatter away to you on your way to the market about this fun trick he figured out here in Jalbar. How, if you can successfully disguise yourself as a priest, you can take anything you want because the priests own everything.
That's
Uh,
possibly
That doesn't exactly seem
right.
ethical.
Yes, I agree with that. That sounds
I
somewhat.
mean, it's not necessarily ethical that the priests can take anything they want, but it's how their society works.
Azalea, make a knowledge local check.
Amari, I kind of want to go find the
27.
wizard and ask if they know what happened to, like, our memories and us waking up in the desert. That's why I'm
Oh, that's a good idea.
busy about that.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I feel like
Is-
it's more important than the library.
Azalea,
27.
you.
Nice.
This sounds more like Stereos than Jalbar to you. That priests can take whatever they want.
Are you sure, Felix?
Yes?
Positive?
Yes?
Okay. Would I know if that actually was the case? Like, if anything similar to that had been happening?
I mean, you know what goes on in Stereos. I mean, it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I had read anything.
I mean,
about...
you know that that priests are incredibly powerful here. I mean, you know that like the king of Jalbar is a priest. I mean, you know that they're very
Okay.
powerful. I wouldn't say you know much more than that.
Okay. Just be careful, please.
I'm too young to disguise myself as a priest. Don't worry.
You could be an acolyte.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, to the markets.
So you guys are proceeding to the markets. You guys hear footsteps running up behind you.
I'm gonna turn around.
Turn around and it's Jareth and Zim.
Oh, hello.
Hello, friend. We felt as though we just needed to say one more time goodbye.
Why do you look like you're in a hurry?
Because we don't want to be part of the, how you say, inquest. Yeah, kid, we thought it'd be best if we split town before things got a little hairy.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Harry.
Things, very many things. All right, you guys have a good.
Sense motive.
You can't just say something like that and run off.
I don't know jack squat.
You don't know Jay Scott. You think that they're talking about, like, I don't know, hair on a cat. You start petting Stuco.
Actually, no, it's a 5. How bad is he doing?
He's.
I'm bluffing.
You're not sure if you believe him or not.
9?
9? You're not sure if you
Yeah.
believe him or not. I mean, they are your
Actually
friends.
going on.
12.
12. Okay,
You're rolling really bad.
they're like, even with a 12, you know they're covering for something. Come on.
What did you
What
do?
did you do?
it's more about like what we did versus what we're doing.
That's why I said, what did you do?
You
Past
see,
tense.
you see that there was a. You see, Jareth, there was
Oh dear.
The longer
a
you
store which sold liquor products, and
You stole liquor. Okay.
not just that, but there was also a rather buxom maid.
did you frisk someone?
I may or may not have, in the reckless abandon of youth.
You're like 40.
What youth?
Okay. You say that like it's a bad thing, but for my standards, 40 is really young.
You're the only one who's going to vouch for him for that. As a human, he's like.
I think Ben probably would too, but
You see, this was
Hey.
before we met. And you see, if there's an inquest, I may be recognized. And the best plan is for us to split town right now, kids. So,
why did you come into the town in the first place?
well, we weren't planning on it, but you two had to go, yo, little Mr. Sunshine has to go, oh, we found a body!
You
Oh!
came with us into the town.
That was really stupid of you. You said that you were going to split off and go some other place anyway.
But, we were on the path outside the town when little Mr. Sunshine
And
decided
we
to run his mouth.
entered the town.
Under guard.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
The guards didn't show up until we got into the town.
No, they kind of escorted us in.
Yes, they did. The guards
Really?
escorted you guys in. At least Lieutenant Shabazz did.
Oh, I definitely remembered that run.
Same.
And look, I'm sorry if I got you tied up in this, but I honestly thought that I was doing the right thing by reporting what we saw.
You can no.
And
This is not your
quite
fault.
frankly, you're the ones who have done something wrong.
Yeah, you guys got yourself into this mess. You could have just gotten free like we are. Like
We're
nobody's.
just here to say goodbye. Calm down, people. Let's just
You
say
two are
goodbye and let them run off.
Try not to get caught, okay?
Thanks. Alright. Clover, it's been fun, kid. You have a great life.
Hey, look, there's a guard coming.
Azalea is vaguely a little bit offended.
So Zim's just gonna start running down an alley at this, and Jarrett's gonna look around and goes, alright, it has been
Look, he's almost right here.
a pleasure. He's like, Madam, I know that there is no guard, but I remember you. He'll take each. He'll bend down, kiss each of your hands.
God.
Even Azalea, he's on his hands and knees to kiss your hand. And so
Azalea is making quite a face right now.
he squeezes Clover. Clover, it has been a pleasure to play music with
Alright, Shatner,
you.
get out of here.
Not
Not just me, not Azalea. Azalea would not say that, nor no William Shatner.
And he
I'm
shakes.
sure he's from Stockholm and thinks so.
He shakes each of your hands, the men's hands, very warmly, shaking your entire body. It's just running after Zim.
Your friends are very weird.
Okay.
So yeah, onwards.
No, done with words. Let's go spend some money, I guess.
Clover's smile is looking extremely fixed. Just-
We don't.
Then we'll rubber back quickly.
We don't associate you with them.
It's
They
okay.
seem kind
Thank
of
you.
messed up on their own.
We're good.
You seem a little bit less,
I'm assuming this is why you want to break from them.
Yes. No, I love them. I love them dearly, and I will hopefully meet up with them again once they've learned how to settle down and not do dumb things when they're drunk. Like stealing more liquor to get
Any of us
drunker.
can blame you.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Like a-
I need out of that for a while.
I think you're making a very wise choice.
Thank you.
I agree.
In traveling with you guys, yes, okay. This will look good on a resume.
Traveled with bunch of maniacs.
No.
And then bunch of other maniacs.
Transferred to more wholesome maniacs.
No.
As a performer, you can bring, your performances and such to different taverns.
That's
and use your
true.
experience there and try and trade it for like rooms and food and stuff.
That's true.
It'll look really good on your resume once you've traveled like the entirety of Jabba and like all these other places. I wouldn't count it as non-experience. Anyway, I'm hungry. Does anybody
Okay.
want to go?
You
We
just
just
ate
just
breakfast.
Yes, I am.
And which means that Harley is starving. So as you guys are passing, you guys see that there are people are roasting like what looks like sort of like the chicken innards and beef, like chopped like beef heart and beef tongue and things. It's like marinated and it's being roasted on a spit. It looks gross, but it smells like heaven.
It hurts me to say this for Azealia, but smells like second breakfast.
Are you gonna try it?
Oh, that sounds so gross. Though.
I kind of want to try that.
Are you gonna try it?
I'm gonna go up and ask. How much for the chicken guts?
1 copper piece each. 1 copper piece each.
I will give him a copper piece.
Do you want the chicken or the beef, Chad? Chicken or beef?
I'm gonna like turn around, find like a crowd, and just yell, "Chicken or beef!"
Everybody goes, beef! And everybody in the back goes, fish!
There's no fish, but you should.
Shrimp!
Wait, fish one. I will take a beef, please.
I'll take a beef in. And so he tastes. So it's like this. It's beef tongue. It's like cubes of beef. It's like thin little strips of beef tongue that have been folded over itself, and
Beef tongue is so good, dude.
oh, I know it's so good. I love beef tongue, but you take it and it's like, oh, it's like if somebody was able to make like really good pot roast, but with like, exotic spices,
Pot roast.
super fast.
Pot roast.
My obsession with pot.
Okay, having had lingua like on tacos, it literally
Oh.
just tastes like super tender, like beefsteak,
It,
like roast beef. It's really really good.
the place where we went for
Then
lunch
you
today did
will
have
look
lingua
at her and
tacos.
say, "Can I try some?"
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to inspect it very carefully for worms.
Yeah.
Can I make a survival check?
Oh
for
yeah,
worms?
absolutely.
Damn it. That's not bad actually. 16.
It's good.
It doesn't have worms.
Cool.
You're good.
I'll
I'm
try
gonna
some.
give her like half of it.
It's good. It's good.
Is it
That's
good?
cool.
Should I get some?
I will like share. I'll like share pieces. Anybody else wants cow innards?
Francis will join in. He'll get some beef
Ben is
tongue.
going to decline hard.
Fen
Ben.
will decline
He's
hard.
supposed to be playing Ben,
Yes.
and Ben has been living a sheltered life and has probably therefore not really eaten meat, let alone tongue.
I'm gonna like flop it around near him. Does it look like it's talking?
Oh my word!
Oh.
What would Fen say?
Don't know what Ben would say.
I guess he'd be.
You
No.
barbarians.
I would say no.
How's that?
Yes.
Sounds about right.
All right.
Whatever Snape would say.
Turn to page 394. I realize there isn't a book here. This is a tongue, but anyway.
Okay.
Turn to tongue 394.
Time. Real.
Anyway, sorry.
That was distracting. I'm sorry. The tongue was cool.
So we move on to buy disguises.
Yes. All right. So you guys, the road is getting packed. Soon it's just a herd of people. Like this road, even though they call it the main road, it's very narrow. It's between a lot of like tight corners and stuff. It's going up and down a lot, but eventually now it's starting to go more and more down. Below you, you see you see a great temple. Dead ahead, you see a temple with golden rings around its pillars. It's an incredible sight. What it looks like is you see steps going up to it, and there's sort of a top level where columns are running from one end to the other. And these columns you see splashes of color and twinkling of precious metals, and then in the middle of these columns you see what looks like it looks like a pyramid, except the top is flat rather than having a capstone on it. Top is flat.
Okay.
All right, so As you guys are heading down there, you see below, you see a bustle of people. You see it's like this herd of people that seem to collect in like the main valley area. You just see tents. You see tents and tables and carts, and you can hear voices calling, and this is chaos.
Okay. Let's buy some outfits.
What do
Okay.
the outfit options look like?
Exhibit A. That is probably where I want
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah. All right. All right. So as you guys begin to head down deeper into the city, it's getting you're getting jostled around. It's tough. It's like the smell of like things roasting and things, and also people being close together. There's it's beginning to get a little bit much for your smaller people. Like Azalea, you are small, and there are people like stomping around you, and
Ah, Azalea looks uncomfortable.
How
um,
much do you weigh?
Probably not a lot.
She
I don't
weigh
really
enough that she would put me over my weight limit for light load.
what are you at now?
Oh.
I didn't write down what her average.
Would it even matter at this point if I'm just saying I'd carry her on my shoulders?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
It's not like you guys are trying to survive or in the wilderness or anything. Alright, so you guys are jostling through this crowd, and it's man, it's getting hot out already. It's really getting hot out. Uh, so eventually, after about an hour or so of walking, you guys, not even an hour, that's a little too long, probably close to a half hour, you folks get down into the actual market district, and you see that there are butchers, you see that there's a meat auction. There's all kinds of spice sellers.
Felix is going to very carefully guard his money pouch.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. Felix, make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. I got a 3.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna need Azalea to make a perception check with advantage.
$18?
18. All right. So as you're looking out, you do see. For a minute, you do see just a glimpse. It's hard to see because you're looking through buildings at this point, but you are able to just see every once in a while. You see like a little dome off to the far southeastern corner. Maybe it's the library. You're not sure. I think I didn't say whether it had a dome or not, but it isn't. But there is a building with a dome in the far southeastern corner.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, so you guys eventually, after going around, Felix, after a long while, you are able to find a linen seller.
Okay.
You find a linen seller, and how much money do you have right now?
I have 90 gold, but I don't want to spend much of it on clothing.
Oh, okay. Alright, so you guys are able to find a linen
Sailor? He sails around on linen?
That's pretty
Wow.
impressive.
He sails his linen boat across the sea?
I was thinking like magic carpet.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are in this guy, and you see that a lot of people are buying stuff here. This stuff looks cheap, functional. It looks like the Old Navy of
What colors and patterns does it come in?
mostly stripes. There's a lot of stripes. Name a color, name a combination. Stripes. Red and gray. Red and gray is big. This seems
Are
to
there
be.
blues and purples
A lot of blue.
or yellow?
A lot of blue. Decent amount of yellow. Not much purple.
Azalea wants to get things that are blue and yellow.
Alright.
Azalea is somewhat excited about this.
As you're going up to purchase it,
She needs to know how much it is first because Azalea is
broke.
very poor.
Okay, so she goes, and the lady's like,
our last thing you
oh yes, look at this.
Wait, what do you...
Yeah.
How much money did we get? I never actually really remember exactly what we
84
had.
gold. We got 84 gold piece from the
Never mind.
trader.
Azalea is not broke anymore.
Azalea is less broke. The lady's very excited. She's like, oh yes, you will dress in the colors of the Empress, yes. Oh, you'll be so lovely.
Wait, is that okay?
Of course it's okay. It's how you show your love for her, my little one.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
She
These are
clearly
just
thinks Azalea's a
gorgeous
kid,
colors.
doesn't she?
Yes. Oh yes.
Azalea's slightly irritated, but is just gonna go with it.
Oh, you are so pale. She like squeezes your cheek. You should get out more, dear. It would be no good for you to stay inside. Come here. She's like, and she gives you a little sweet that she was like keeping and like folds stuff to you. Did your mother send us to buy you a dress for you?
That's really insulting. She's kind of an adult.
You know of halflings, ma'am?
She's a grown woman.
I am so. Oh, I am so sorry, man. Oh my goodness. This lady's like, she's
It
like,
happens a lot.
Ma'am, please,
goodness.
it's okay. This happens a lot. You don't need to be embarrassed. It's more embarrassing for me, actually.
Oh, it's quite alright. Here, take this. She reaches down and she hands you like a little extra swath of cloth, like rolled up. It's nice. It's lacy. It's only a little bit of it. And she's like, here, I have no use for this, but perhaps you could find something useful. I was going to make a veil, maybe for a bride, but new brides never come here. They always go to one of the fancier places. And she hands you this. If you have any use for it, dear.
Oh, thank you. And I'm sure you make plenty good quality stuff for the
Yes.
people who need it.
Oh, thank you, yes. Alright, so, who's gonna buy what next, guys? I mean,
How much did that
Then,
cost?
then wants clothes to cover up too, he says.
that'd be 3 gold. 3 gold for the colors that you got.
Am I
What about plain colors?
Plain colors are like a gold for like a yard, yes. But a foot. Gold a foot.
That is very expensive.
Of cloth? Goodness gracious.
That's like
I don't know.
Wait,
it's
is
selling
that
plain
what
cloth, not
Azalea's
outfits.
she's so tiny?
I'm not. I have no knowledge of like sewing. Well,
So-
what do you guys think would be a realistic price for?
According to the
For cheap,
according to the book here,
Uh-huh.
a traveler's outfit costs 1 gold.
Okay, all
A
right.
soldier's uniform costs 1 gold. A royal outfit costs 200 gold.
Okay,
A noble's outfit costs 75 gold. Monk's outfit 5 gold. Like that's kind of the range for you.
okay. So
and this is outfit, not just cloth.
Right.
okay, so this is if you guys are just buying cloth.
probably like a silver.
Yeah, no, I'd say
Do they
hardly.
have time to make it into whatever they wear there, or do they just wear their cloths wrapped?
They wear like a tunics and depends.
I'd like to buy an outfit.
Okay, you need to
I
buy
would
it
say,
out.
should we
Yeah,
have
I
maybe looked somewhere that had... I was under the impression that we were buying, like...
Oh no! We have outfits. The lady she shows you into the inside part of
Okay.
her store, which has like actual outfits in it. So for your thing, 'cause it's a little bit fancier, and it is the colors of the Empress, it's about 2 gold pieces
Okay.
for yours.
Azalea's never had colorful clothing, and she is really excited.
For Then.
For
How
Then?
much?
For Then, what is Then trying to get?
Then would go with, my instructions are something that keeps his glasses and left arm covered but helps him blend in.
I think we should just buy him an entertainer's outfit because he's not here.
So
Well,
basically,
that's why I got specific instructions
so,
from Ethan.
so basically, what he wants is the Charlie Brown ghost sheet over his head. Okay, so what is it exactly that he wants?
Keeping his left arm covered and the glasses. Although don't see why I can't just take the glasses
Azalea can
off
make
and
him
keep
a
them
veil.
covered. But something to blend in.
So he wants a hoodie.
Azalea can make
Sure.
him a veil.
So
Yes, make him a veil.
So the lady will be like, he'll be like, I have specific demands. I can't do it with a straight face on my word. I have requirements for my vestments. So
I would appreciate it if I did these things.
so basically, what she gets him is she likes to blend in. He gets like a very like plain like gray like knit woolen thing, but she doesn't have a lot of head coverings on him. So she makes him like this little orange turban. It's an orange turban. I just killed
And now
Tasha.
Tasha is dying.
Tasha, you can't die. That's an unhealthy lifestyle decision.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Excellent.
Decapitation is not a
Alright.
healthy lifestyle
Lifestyle
choice.
choice.
So, is there anything else that you guys would like to do? Like what other outfits
How
would you
much
like
was
to get?
this, by the way?
This is like 6 silver.
Okay. No, a gray knit shirt and an orange turban for 6 silver?
Yes. Don't tell him about the turban yet.
It's about as inconspicuous as a traffic cone.
Good.
Don't tell him
That's
about
what
the
it sounds
turban?
like.
How
I
is he gonna find out about the turban if we don't tell him?
We'll just tell him that it is orange. Story of an elf and his orange turban.
Well, we could not tell him. Just be like next session, like suddenly you like
Just be like, have
buy a mirror, a drow with a bright orange.
No, just have everybody he meets keep looking at his head while he's talking.
You're just like, why? Why is everyone looking at me?
Captain Dreadlocks.
Okay, Captain Dread. All right. So what else do you get? What are the rest of you guys trying to buy?
Does my clothing like?
ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not for me. So
Does like what? How much would Amari need to change what she's wearing?
But what's Amari wearing?
Like, other than hide armor, just like trousers and tunic. I think.
Well, you haven't seen anybody here wearing trousers.
Oh.
I mean, the normal thing is that people will either wear a long robe, or they might wear. I mean, even everybody kind of wears, just a. Like, it depends on some places they're like floor length, some places they're like knee length, but basically everybody wears a skirt.
I'm gonna buy a robe that I can keep on over top of my armor.
Okay, you find a light like maroon color robe with some patterning by the hem. It does have tassels.
I'm just gonna try and find something like super cheap. If that's super cheap, I'll take it.
She says, then he goes, it has been on sale. I have not been able to get rid of it. It is only 5 silver.
Okay.
I'd like to get the clothier. Does she have anything like sand-colored fabric?
Yeah, she doesn't have an outfit made of it, but she does have some
Don't need an
sand-colored
outfit.
fabric.
Just a large strip of sand-covered fabric. I'm gonna try and turn it into just getting that for myself.
Okay. She'll take it for 3 silver.
Thank you.
All right. This is going to leave us with let's see, who's left. Francis. This leaves us with Francis and Francis, Clover, and you, Felix. Felix, what are you gonna do?
Felix is going to ask, do you have anything that would be more typical of? So as you can tell, I'm just about the age to be entering a profession. I'm wanting to have an outfit that would look right for someone who's going to be entering, like scholarly and religious profession.
Oh, the lady she goes in the back and she comes back out. She comes out with so basically it's like there's this whole outfit that you have. So she has it's basically it's a white robe that is worn open almost like most of the way down to your chest, like down below your chest, where it is cinched around the waist with a gold cord. You have your robe is full length; it goes all the way down to your ankles. You have black sandals, and she gives you this little hat. It's a round hat, and it has on it this pattern of alternating of red and blue strips of what you guess are glass, and then little strips of embroidered gold. At the front there is the head of a lion.
All right. Wow.
And she goes,
And how much is that?
that will be 10 gold.
10 gold.
Alright, so
Can you come any lower than 10 gold?
She goes,
I'm not a scholar yet.
sorry. Is 8 gold pieces okay?
Sure.
Sure.
That's fine.
So, as you go into your purse, you see that it has been absconded from. You find that it's more than 3/4 empty. You probably have about.
Actually, on second thought, I've been robbed. I can't buy your outfit.
Actually, on second thought, I've been robbed. You have probably about 12 to 13 gold pieces left.
So, when it first came about that you were trying to get the lady to go down, my thought was Nexa could have done better. And then when you said it was partially empty, my thought was Nexa could have done better.
Wait, who are you comparing yourself to?
So, when he was trying to get the lady to go down on the price to barter it down, I thought in my head Nexa could have done better. And then when he noticed that part of his money was stolen, I was like, Nexa could have done better.
Oh my gosh.
As if first she could have gone lower, and second she could have stolen more.
That's hilarious.
Go back.
I want. How much is the outfit?
Don't dive, please.
The outfit is 8 gold.
I will put you for him.
Oh, I'll throw in a bit, if you don't mind, Your Highness.
Tasha, okay?
She's going to take a break for a second. She's dying slightly, but should be returning momentarily.
Okay. I'll throw in a little bit too, if you don't mind, Your Highness. We can.
Please don't call me Your Highness, but I appreciate that.
Sorry, yeah.
Should we only call you that when we want to annoy you?
Just don't call me Your Highness in general. It's an unnecessary formality.
No, sorry, Amari. Is there any term that you prefer more than Amari?
No, Amari is fine. Unless you come up with a weird nickname for me. I like weird nicknames.
Squoosh!
Okay.
No, seriously, do you want to be called Squoosh?
We'll come up with something when the situation is right.
Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work.
Alright, I will give 4 gold to are fine, friend.
I will throw in 4 gold as well from Francis's share. We can't have you wandering around naked there. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, it can do us a couple favors. Alright, so who else is trying to buy stuff? Clover and
Francis.
Francis is going to just go. Francis is just he's going to get a dark green robe. And he's just gonna be a dark green robe, sandals, very simple, no head covering, just and Clover's gonna get a she's gonna buy a dress. It's gonna be a light blue dress, very simple. With again with that's gonna be pretty much it. Just a very simple light blue dress. And that's you guys. You guys are outfitted like locals.
To the library.
Wait. So if we're splitting up at this point, we want to find a place to stay first so we can rendezvous there.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably should know where we're meeting up.
Have we passed any, like, inns?
You passed many inns.
Particular area because it's really busy and crowded, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, is there a place that we can go that's probably a bit less of a tourist trap?
Okay, sure. Make a. I don't even know. Somebody make local knowledge survival. There's no knowledge hospitality services, and I'm rather
I can
disappointed.
do knowledge local. That would make sense
Sure.
for me.
Yeah, actually, that would make a lot of sense.
Who has it? I don't have that.
Yeah.
Does anyone have it?
I have knowledge local, but I don't know how much Andrew would let that work.
What'd you roll?
So I rolled a 1.
All right. Oh, Tasha.
I rolled a non-natural 20.
Tasha, you know the perfect place. There's a place that you've been going. It's a place where it's a place where you've stayed when you've been here before.
I'm sure.
All right, so eventually,
Do I get lost leading them there?
oh no, you do, but you find it eventually, and you find it at the end of this dank alley. You see that there is this inn. It's called the Tainted Viper.
Hey, Viper.
Doesn't this look great, guys?
It's basically like
Susanna, are you sure this is safe?
the end.
No?
The end of this alley, you see it's sort of like the alley ends with the hotel. The hotel is like sort of like this like greenish colored outside. It's sort of like it's like a U shape at the end of this alley. The dead end is the front door. There's a outside. There's an old, very grizzled looking man smoking a pipe. Dressed in like this dingy, tattered old robe. Who goes there?
Can you check your chat real fast, Andrew? Just for clarification.
Yes.
No, on second thought, maybe not.
Yeah, this seems a little bit sketchy. Do you want a Viper Fang to go with your Tainted Viper?
Goes with the theme.
I'm going to assume that's a no.
All right, I'll take one for you.
It's totally a legit place. What? You're all looking at me like I'm crazy.
Oh, your guests, come in! The guy like stands up.
Thank you.
Like,
Actually, I think we might not.
I'm
I
gonna
choose
give
park
him a Viper
benches.
Fang. What'd you say?
I choose park benches.
I'm gonna like
They're
hand him
cheaper.
a nice Viper Fang and like start backing up kind of slowly.
I think we
Come
just
on,
made a
guys, you
wrong
don't trust
turn.
me?
I trust
Thank you,
you.
though.
I
What's
trust you,
that?
Clover says.
What was that?
Clover says, I trust you.
What does Sten say?
Clover, something tells me that
Why should I trust you?
Conrad
I don't know.
worse judges of character of establishments in which to stay than appears to be.
What was that, Harley?
I said, I take it that your friends were worse judges of establishments in which you could stay than Ben appears to be.
Francis looks at the guy and he goes, I think the guy's alright. I mean, look at this place. I mean, where else are we going to find? Come on, everybody. Come on, guys.
Guys,
I would say, yeah, if you
Fine,
all
Azalea. Well, it's okay.
maybe somewhere a little bit more well lit.
I mean, light is overrated.
it looks sort of like a murder alley.
You see, my mother used to say that sometimes light is just better for showing you where the cockroaches are.
Exactly, that's not a good thing. You don't
You know, I would prefer no cockroaches at all.
Hey, mister, how many bodies have you found in this alley?
How many in this alley? Oh, I never found a body in this alley. Lots of other alleys, but never this alley.
I don't believe you.
It's
No, really, there's never been a body when I've been here.
I'm gonna sense motive check on the old dude.
Sure.
Because I fully believe that, like, Sten thinks that there have been no bodies.
Oh man. Of course I found this shady inn.
What was this? What was this?
8.
8. Alright, so this guy's seen some alleys, and this man has seen some bodies. You guess that he's telling the truth? I mean, this is a terrible place to hide a body.
Wait, really? Why? Is it a very...
What? It's a pretty short alley.
Well, it's a very short alley, so it'd be kind of hard to hide a body here, so maybe it actually is fine. We should go inside and look.
Just because you can't hide a body here doesn't mean it's safe.
Well, why don't we go in and look
I mean,
and see? If it's terrible, we can leave.
I mean, we could hide you
Say
in
for
a...
any-
We could hide you in a knapsack. That doesn't mean our knapsacks are inherently dangerous.
That's
Right?
kind of rude.
so,
You people are
Really
really rude.
starting to get a little irritated.
You want me
Not
to
at
stop
Francis
commenting on her?
just because she's small and she really hates that she's small.
I'm so... I didn't mean you to take it like that. I'm just saying that just because...
No,
Never
no,
mind.
it's fine.
Fred,
It's fine.
don't keep commenting about people's height.
Let's just go here. It's fine, you know.
Azalea,
I don't
you're
care.
clearly mad, so we'll go somewhere else.
Nope. No, it's
Azalea,
fine.
no, don't give me that passive
Azalea's
aggression.
gonna
That's what
walk
my
in.
brother does, and I'm not taking it from you.
Azalea isn't doing it to you specifically. She's just gonna go in because she's tired of people arguing and she's tired of being thought to be a child.
Oh, Francis, what were you saying, Felix?
I don't want to stay anywhere. I don't have money anymore.
you have like 10 gold.
Yes, well, Felix was just robbed of all of more money than he's probably ever had before.
I
so.
don't. How do you feel about this, Felix?
He's pretty horrified. He kind of wants to go to a corner and cry somewhere, but
Oh.
he
Can I
doesn't
try
perceive
and
that as the
slip-
manly thing to do. So
Can I try and slip 20 gold into his purse without him noticing?
Got a
Sure.
corner to cry, and I'm sure there are plenty of cockroaches that'll join you.
Yeah, sleight of hand versus perception, and as you guys slip into the
15.
tainted serpent, what do you roll, Felix?
what did I roll? Probably horribly low.
So as you guys slip into the tainted viper, this incredibly unproductive session, is going to come to a close.
I mean,
Yeah,
Azalea's
Felix got
got
a one.
clothes.
Yes, you guys bought clothes.
Come on, Felix, it's not that bad. How much do you have left? Let me see.
I only have like 5 pieces left. I'm gonna look in my bag.
Alright. So wait, what'd you roll for perception?
A 1.
A 1. So you look at and there's all this, like, 30 gold pieces in your bag.
I'm blind.
It was 20, but
well,
I had 10 in there
he
before.
had 10 already.
okay. Yes, you
Oh,
did.
you
I'm still missing most of my money. This is just not as bad as I thought.
There you go.
See, now I'm gonna. Would I be able to puzzle out what happened?
I don't know.
Did anybody
Felix
catch
honestly
me
just
doing it?
thinks-
I tried and I didn't see you.
Okay, then no.
Felix honestly just thinks he's blind enough that the first time he looked, he didn't see all of the gold.
Yeah.
Felix, we can help.
The one time Ben tries to do something nice.
I can help.
I mean, it succeeded. He's very happy
You did.
that he's not quite as broke as he thought he was.
That's
Still
fantastic.
not happy that he lost 40 gold worth of.
Andrew, by the way, I messaged you something you a
Forward
while
by
back
30 now.
about listening to conversations.
Yeah.
60.
That you said Shatner typing, and I wasn't sure what Shatner typing meant.
Oh no, because I said my response was this was I'll let, and you said you'll let, and I said
Gotcha.
you know Shatner typing. I screwed up typing. That's all.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll tell you what you hear later.
Thank you.
And that is as you guys step into the interior of the Tainted Viper. That's
So
where
sorry,
that's
guys.
where this session will come to an end. Can we get some people on quotes?
It's just me because Ethan isn't here,
Oh.
so I have to do them alone. Unless anybody else has a burning desire to do quotes.
I'm not actually sure I have access to those files,
I
so
don't even know how to get to them now.
Okay, I guess it's just me then. Alright, so before the session we had the... I mean, I'm paranoid. We all know this by now. There's a reason you didn't elect me to be Santa. Wait for Andrew to stop cackling. Good there?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Amari, if she falls in love with your brother after your people slaughtered her family, is that Stockholm Syndrome? Azalea, where is Stockholm? Actually, what is Stockholm? You didn't live in the hello words. You didn't live in the royal yurt? 50 Shades of Terrible Mother's Stone. And actually, on second thought, I've been robbed. I can't buy your outfit.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I know this was like this wasn't even like the shopping episode. It was like the small talk episode. So I'm sorry for that, everybody. You know what? To all of you folks out there in the world, chillax, peace, Scott, and good night, Kira.
Night, Kira.
Bye, Scott.
So long, Scott.
Toodles, auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci,
I feel like we need to
Scott.
break into the good night song from
Yes, from Sound of Music.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we
Are we
still
still
on?
online?
Yes.